Positive territory here this morning as we get set for Fed Chair Powell coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. He'll be in Washington testifying in Congress for not one, but the first of 2 days for Fed Chair Powell. So we'll see if any comments come of that. Overall, the market looking back to maybe some tech strength back in play here this morning. Analysts not upgrading, but price target increases basically across the board for big tech this morning, including some of the semi-conductors. We'll talk about that. There's the Qs right now coming back into 498.5, 498.75. A little bit of a pullback here. Not a lot in the way of economic data this morning, but just keep in mind 9:15 Fed's bar is going to speak, and then at 10 o'clock the big one. Fed Chair Powell will be again in Congress in Washington for the first of 2 days. The semi-annual testimony starting today. We'll also get the written version of his opening remarks coming up here any moment. In fact, we are expecting those to come through. They always release the speech first, and then they do the Q&A after the fact. But maybe a little bit of wait and see ahead of 10 o'clock this morning.
Certainly, Brendo, especially with the jobs report we got last week. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Coming a little bit higher than expected. But the good news about that jobs report was that we got a little bit of higher tick in unemployment. Obviously, good for the stock market, not good for real life. But Intel, really strong overnight as well. Brendo, chips all getting an upgrade today.
Yeah.
AMD, NVIDIA all getting a bump, even Marvell.
Yeah. After a little bit of a pullback here, here's the NASDAQ right now. If you go out to a daily chart, yeah, the march higher continues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, call it, in a row, straight to the upside, all-time highs, and then some right now for the market. But a little bit of a pullback here again, all going to weigh possibly on 10 o'clock this morning with Fed Chair Powell making some remarks. Neil is back with us this morning. Good morning, guys.
Welcome back, and I guess I broke the trend of wearing a uniform. You guys tried to start something yesterday, and I don't know, I didn't get the memo.
Yeah, Obi's in yellow over there. Obi's in yellow over there.
He should be.
No, he's not.
No. But it's all good. We're back, and like chips are looking pretty interesting. Although when I was going over yesterday, I was kind of going over some of the charts. The one that stood out, it's not doing anything right now, but the one that was like, what the, was the Boeing drop
yesterday.
Yeah, like ugh.
They lost a wheel on one of their planes.
Ugh. And like that doesn't look very good. But hey, you have a host of things which are pressing all-time highs, so there's nothing wrong with that. Apple's in play again, Tesla 250, NVIDIA 130. It's not an all-time high, but I mean, anytime Intel's up like 10% in a few days, that's generally a good thing for them. So we'll continue that play. It looks like it's going to be a strong one for the chip names, at least so far. Bitcoin running into some resistance at 58,000. So I think some of those names could be fades. And one of your favorites broke out yesterday on the daily chart, which is Palantir.
Yeah, we had that yesterday. That was a good trade. That's been a really good one.
It's that stock at like 52-week highs are all over the place. You don't have to look very, very hard to find, and continuation off those can be great.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can get a couple day plays on that one. Yeah, Bitcoin is down here. We have it down here 57.3 right now, and Ethereum over 3,000 as well. So it's nice to see some of those holding up. And yeah, Palantir at $28. So we're gonna watch out for that. See if we can get that break real early on the imbalance locator today. It's not much early anyways. Palantir is on there. We have NIO. I want to look at actually Alibaba today. Disney's still below 100, so that's not doing too much here. That's right there as a sell as well. And not much else happening on the locator as of now. But yeah, $74 for Alibaba. We'll see if we can get some dip buy opportunities in that as well. Intel making moves. I don't know, man. I really think this Amazon in and around $200 is going to be something interesting as well. So we're going to wait to see if we can finally break through that Amazon level that we're waiting to do. As soon as Bezos is done selling, we'll be able to break through some of these levels with a little bit of a bottom here at 197, 198. So yeah, yesterday was a big one. We had that Tesla bomb through 250, and it's right there again. So we'll see if we can make some moves there with Tesla. Can we explain the imbalances? Yeah, we can.
We have a video, I think.
I think we have. I mean, are those videos still up on? It's not Trader TV. I never know which website it is anymore.
I think so. You know what? I think one of the things
go to our main page.
One of the things we can start doing is like, you know what? For the lesson of the day, I can start doing things like that as well. Just a quick little brief summary of what it is. But I'm pretty sure you can just go to you can go find a good explanation for it. But just think of it like this: every single time the market opens or the market closes or a stock unhalts, you're going to have an auction process by which you determine the opening price or the closing price at the end of the day. So traders and anybody can put orders in to that auction. You can put market on open, market on close orders. That'll just get whatever price buy or sell that they find equilibrium at. You can put limit orders as well. So what they do is they take all of those orders and then give you a snapshot before the open or before the close of where would it be if they had to execute right now. So if there's 10 million people putting orders into the auction and there's 1 million more buy orders than sell orders at the current price, then you would have a current buy imbalance. And so they publish that information before the open so that people can look at it and say, hey, there's more buyers than sellers. I'd like to sell 1 million shares. And we just throw it in there. I'm not going to move the market because there's a big buy imbalance currently. That's kind of like a very quick and dirty explanation for it. But it's really just an auction that they give you the result, not the results, but they give you an update of what it's looking like before they actually print that auction.
I don't know if it's going through or not. Oh no, that won't work like that. I got to go to the YouTube page. There is a YouTube video here that Sharif has sent me, so we'll put it there in the chat immediately and get it out. It looks like it's me and Arun, and I'm doing a little bit of an explanation here. So there it is.
That's the one
in the YouTube chat right here. Yeah, so hey, what's up, Arun? There he is. Blast from the past there.
The sweater.
But yeah, this is what it is. So if you just refresh it, you'll see here. It's the cover page is really nice anyways. Yeah, closing auctions. Here's another one here on closing auctions coming through right now. So if you do go to our website, you'll be able to find it on Trader TV Live. Type it in there, figure it out. But thanks, Sharif, for all of that. But should be good to go. Back over to the desk.
Let's touch on Bitcoin here. We'll zoom way out. First of all, this is a weekly chart for Bitcoin. 1, 2, 3, 4 red weeks in a row, trying to make it a little bit of a bounce back this morning. 60,000, long way to go, it seems like, to get there. We're back to 57,750. Not much in the way of headlines this morning helping this, but maybe a little bit due for a bounce.
Yeah, it was good inflows yesterday. About $300 million came in. Some of the ETFs leading IBIT was number 1, and FBTC Fidelity's ETF saw the second most amount. Even GBTC got some inflows. So there is a bit of a warning here from some analysts. 10 Times Research is warning of a potential summer slowdown for Bitcoin based on historical trends. But yesterday we did get the Republican National Platform, and they espouse crypto in general, Brendo. So we'll have to see if that ends up being some sort of a tailwind.
Yeah, a little bit active here as far as you mentioned, the ETFs so far this morning, some of the equities related as well. I saw a few people mentioning this one, TEM, which is that Tempest AI came to market just back in June. So the quiet period ended today for analysts. So there's a long list of initiations on Tempest AI, mostly to the positive side.
Yeah, that's not the greatest volume stock in the world, that Tempest. I think we always talk about looking for things which are going to give you a little bit more liquidity so that you can trade. But when you have that quiet period sort of end, or when you have like the lockup period expire, like the two things that generally can signal some activity for an IPO outside of like that opening day or opening week. Usually you want the stock to be in a range where you're breaking something out or you're trading off support. On the daily, you're kind of diddling in the middle. On the 15-minute, you're kind of diddling in the middle. You see what I'm getting at here? Like if this is breaking 40, if this is failing 31, or maybe bouncing 31, a little bit more interesting. But low volume right in the middle, not going to be terribly necessarily interesting, for me at least, on Tempest. And we talk about good IPOs only because I have no idea what else. I just want to throw Kava in here for a quick second. And recent IPOs, this is one of the better ones. Obviously, I don't think anybody can say anything negative about the performance of this. It hasn't been around forever, but it has been a very, very clean upward trend here in Kava since coming to market. But what's happening now is, 1, 2, and then I guess I'm supposed to say sometimes OB thrice, triple top on Kava. It's failed $97 multiple times. And then yesterday, I mean, I wasn't here yesterday, but when you're going over looking at some of these charts, this one failed the 97, I want to say rather spectacularly. So triple top, if it pops and fails, I think it can be a short here on Kava. Just can't seem to punch through. And if it ever breaks 100, I mean, why not? If we see that, we're close enough. You get to that level, I think it can be a nice trade. But low volume for now. But after the way it failed that triple top on the daily, I think if I see the same thing happen at the open where you pop, can't get through here or fail underneath $100, you got to look for like the trend short in the later half of the day.
Yeah, we had Chipotle actually. Oh yeah, our charts won't do this too much justice, but this is down 15% since it's reverse split. It used to reverse splits. Since it's split, hold on a second. Let me just bring up another chart here so it looks a little bit better on another page. This could be something that's bought as well. You could see Starbucks hitting the down. Starbucks is down 9 of the last 10 days. Consumer's not very strong, man. McDonald's is at huge lows. Look at MCD. I mean, huge lows. Anyways, a lot of them are down. Look where McDonald's is. McDonald's is back to this October bottom, by the way. So that's something that could get hit as well as we start to make potentially new lows on McDonald's breaking back below 245. That's huge. Like this is crazy, crazy levels for some of these consumer discretionary names. A lot of the ETFs being held up by names like Amazon and Tesla and stuff like that, but you could see huge moves down. Look at Nike, obviously we've talked about that. These are daily charts going back to 2023. So you've crushed it back a year and a half right now, and some of these names continue to push lower and lower and lower. And then you have names that are working in this space, like I was just talking about with Amazon and Tesla right now, and also in stock like Walmart, where none of them look the same here. So you got to sort of pick and choose. And there's another one that's been in the doghouse for a very long time as well. I mean, Lululemon is well below its October bottoms right now, and you're all the way back down into here now, going all the way through and trying to hold some of these 2023 bottoms early on. So, I mean, if you're looking to pick up some big brands at decent value, I mean, these might be, as far as PE is concerned, maybe looking at because they're getting crushed. So this is just another area that we can always start saying, how good the economy is doing and these chip names and the stock market seems to be doing really well. But it just depends on where your bread is buttered, because some of these names have fallen out of bed lately. And I think the one that I want to buy out of all these names is going to be Starbucks. So waiting for that just to get a little bit lower, and then we'll pounce.
Just having a look at the dollar, trying to get back higher here ahead of Powell coming up today. Yeah, that's Palantir coming back in a little bit. There was a bit of a spike there on the note. Oracle coming out this morning mentioning that Palantir's Foundry platform, an AI platform now certified on Oracle's cloud infrastructure and generally available across their platform. So there was a move higher initially for PLTR, but right back down.
Yeah, it's supposed to give basically the idea here is to basically make this available for businesses and government. It's supposed to give the user cutting edge cloud computing and AI technologies, basically using the AIP, the artificial intelligence platform created by Palantir, making it available for sort of commercial use. So we'll have to see how this all does. Apparently here, Oracle giving special options for Palantir's users here. I have to read this a little bit more.
Yeah, the similar look to the way we were setting up yesterday in the pre-market. That gap we had yesterday got faded pretty quick, though, right back to where we ended on Friday now, and then just kind of chopped around for the rest of the day, guys. So worth a note, but not really doing a heck of a lot so far this morning for PLTR.
Sometimes it's when you have the excitement of like a 52-week high break and it doesn't really follow it through necessarily. And then everyone's eyes are looking somewhere else. And then the stock goes for the day 2 rally. So 52-week top, 27.5, 27.60. That was gapped above, failed. But then it's the response, dipping right into the previous close and then right back, testing 28 at the close. That sets a lot of things up. You could break out the top here. You could always go, dip buy hunting into the close price. Not the close price. To the low yesterday, 27.20, that previous low. You also have 27.60 where it supported the afternoon. That is that 52-week top previous to yesterday. So as long as you're above 27.20, there's one place, two place, and then a breakout to look for a long continuation play here in Palantir. When a stock is above like this, I think you just got to go for it, because the room that it has is now, it's not a blue sky setup, because if you pull back far enough, obviously Palantir was trading higher if you go way back into like the euphoria of 2021 and all that stuff. But there isn't that much standing in its way. If it can break out this top, you got the next level, just 29 and change, and then the inevitable big 30 level. But for a stock to get to 29 when it's a $28 stock, that's fantastic for a trade. So you get dip buys. Any rally that fails at 29, to me, just means you should be trying to go long into it. So you're not really at the massive top just yet. I think 30 is going to be the big one. So going for some dip buy as well. And Reg, I did see Polestar breaking the $1 level on the chart yesterday. It's back underneath. So to me, I think that one's going to be a sell. Just an idea of, like, if you see something like Polestar, to me, it's an automatic look for short kind of situation. When I see this happen, you're breaking $1. Obviously, everyone's going to be looking at that same number. You're trying to keep compliance. It consolidated nicely, 90 cents. There's your dollar, all that stuff. And then there's your fail break. It's not like Kava, but it's very similar. Like, you have a same top. You get the breakout. It couldn't get past 110. If it tries again and fails, it's just back to resistance till it ain't.
Yeah, look, we had Palantir yesterday. We saw a drip down here off the open, and we tried the long, and then we had the long at that bottom against that wick and took it all the way to the upside. We were looking at it in the afternoon, and it didn't do too much. So that's going to be the reason for concern a little bit, because this level still needs to be tested. So yeah, 27.60 or so. We do have it on the sticky note today. I just wrote down here for Palantir, where is it, 28.25. Let's take out these top wicks and get going. So I just want to see if we can go through that level there. We'll take out 28. I like the 28.25 level just to get confirmation, right? It's just kind of like what we were talking about with Amazon before. It's like, I want to be able to see this actually go. So right there is 28.10. I think you can get going at 28.10 if you want. That little wick up there is 28.25. So again, it was just it's an 8 o'clock print. So you could probably go 8.10 long, 28.10, something like that, or even just try to break 28. Problem is, we had broke 28 a couple times here in the pre-market before falling down. So I just don't want to see it hit it again and then this happen. So I think to use a little bit more shares, you might want to wait for a couple pennies higher just to make sure that you do get that break. And if it winds up costing you 5 or 6 cents more, then I don't think it's the end of the world. So option level, probably 28, but 28.25 could be something else there too. So yeah, I really like Palantir, needless to say. I can probably look back at all of these sticky notes and find Palantir on here very, very frequently. So we'll continue to look at that name as 52-week highs, and a name that we've been supporting pretty much since the beginning of time. So really happy with this trade. It opened up at $9 when it direct listed a couple years ago, and it's at 28. So pretty good return there for Palantir.
Just noting some of the home builders popping back higher. Here's Lennar today. This is a weekly chart, just keep that in mind. But Lennar with a Wedbush upgrade today to neutral. There's zero volume behind this, but this is actually pulling into, a decent spot once again. This thing has been so strong for the past couple of years. But we're going to mention this Lucid note, LCID. Lucid trying to bounce back a little bit today as well after, this is also a weekly chart. It's been quite the couple of months here for Lucid, but a quote-unquote Tesla-esque recall for Lucid today.
And the second one this month, Brendo. Earlier in the month, they did an over-the-air software update to fix a high-voltage coolant heater failure. I'll get it together today. This time, they're recalling two different recalls. One, an over-the-air software update. The other, an issue with the coolant heater that could fail to defrost the windshield. One recall, 5,251. The other, about 7,500. But to be honest with you, they reported good delivery numbers yesterday. They produced about 2,100 cars. They sold about 2,400. That was way higher than what analysts were looking for. Analysts were looking for about 1,950 produced and 1,900 in sales, so beating there, but stock's still down on the day.
Yeah, so 84.28 was the 2023 number, the entire 2023 number. So they're recalling basically all of them.
Yeah.
So it hasn't really done 1 million shares yet pre-market, which for a $3 stock, that's kind of what I would want to see happening. and it's down 2 points today. But if you squint hard enough, you could almost say that Fisker is making some sort of a bottom in here. So you've held a 240, that's not even 240. It's like 230 is a low, you're back above the 50 period. I'm saying if you squint hard enough because it's not really that distinct and it hasn't really taken out any significant level except for $3. But if this could get 340, 350, there could be something here. I just don't know what the day trade would be. Like, I know what I would do with Polestar because of that dollar level. Fisker, if you traded this yesterday, it looks like you did pretty well if you just scalped it off $3. So I would suppose that could be in play again today to look at a $3 level. But if this gets above, it's more like getting above 340 that would signal that it's trying to make something special happen for Lucid. It's disappointing because it's still a decent shortfall. I just looked it up. I actually don't have a number here on Trade Ideas, but I still think it's in the 20s for its short flow last I had checked. So it's got that pedigree, just unfortunately just can't seem to get out of its own way or break out significant levels. You've got to wait for a stock to show you it's breaking out of the bottom as a day trader anyways, instead of trying to just guess it. So good rally the last couple of sessions for Fisker, probably due for some consolidation here off $3.
You've called Lucid Fisker a couple of times.
My bad. We were
You went back and forth.
Okay, yeah, so we were, like, just before we were talking about this, I was mentioning to Sean that Fisker had a really bad day yesterday. So Fisker was on my brain because it went down underneath 2 cents. So my bad, I mean Lucid. We can't trade Fisker because it's on the OTC at less than $1. So Lucid, I don't really see a trade. Polestar, more likely I trade that.
Yeah.
My bad.
KeyBank speaking on quite a few of these semiconductors today, including NVIDIA. Here, getting a $180 price target increase. They also increased the price target for Marvell and decreased the price target for AMD. Then we have Jefferies Financial increasing its price target here for Amazon to 235. So great look for AMZN. Bank of America ahead of the bank earnings, which started on Friday. This one gets a price target increase from Piper Sandler. And Corning getting a price target increase from HSBC Securities. They actually increased their sales targets yesterday, so good look for GLW. Downgrades, Chewy kicking off the list here, down almost 2% on this Argus downgrade. That could be an interesting name to watch. We also have Six Flags getting a downgrade from Truist, GFL getting a downgrade from BMO Capital Markets, and last but not least, KeyBank downgrading Helios here. This one down about 6%, guys.
All right, so I mean, a couple big names on that side there. I mean, Amazon, NVIDIA. We talked about all these big guys continue to go upside. So we'll continue to watch out for that. Make sure you get our watch list on tradertv.live for a lot of these upgrades and downgrades. We will talk about NVIDIA obviously as we go, but this 130 is going to be a pretty key level. We had saw it yesterday, broke through, then came right back in and only got to 130.50 right there off the open and came back in and fell $3 off that level. So that's going to be something to look out for on a breakout here today of 131, 130.75. The very, very top that was made real early. Huge run for NVIDIA yesterday, and then it pulled back and didn't do much all day. So if you're going to be buying this name, obviously we're looking at 127, 128. And again, those are the levels that we have written down here. We're going to be trading the big names again here today. This continues to do 200+ million shares a day. So as long as that's happening, I'm all over this name. So 128 to 129 is definite buy zone for me on NVIDIA. I mean, look, it's up 1.5%. I'm not I was actually more bullish yesterday on the market than I am today. And the market yesterday was opening red, if not flat. And today we're opening up 0.3. So I don't know. There's something in the air here, I feel like. Will Roblox pass $40? Was that on the upgrade list? Is that $40? Because we bought a little bit of that we bought a little bit of this at 34.
Was that on the...
Yeah, when it was breaking through this 34 right here, we had bought a little bit of this on this breakout, and then it didn't do anything. So I didn't even check this trade out. This was again another one that we had put out. We put out trades of the week every week on our week in review, our week forward, what's week ahead there. So I remember we talked about Roblox. We really like this name. I keep making fun of myself for paying into it all the time. So we finally decided to. We've been in this name for a while, but we didn't buy any of these dips until we got above that 34 area. So I remember when this broke out right there, we got to fill. I don't know what it was, 34 change, and then just kept on bouncing around, and I always thought we may be in trouble. So nice move there for Roblox. And again, for me, the catalyst is summertime. The kids love this stuff. It's pretty cool, some of the games they have there. I like Roblox, but I also like Take-Two, which we talked about this yesterday with GTA. And if Take-Two can hit, this name's been beat up a little bit as well. So I want to wait to see maybe the next earnings report. I'm going to find out when that is for Take-Two Interactive. But I kind of like this name as well ahead of a big game release in the next coming year and a half. So we'll watch out for Take-Two. But yeah, Roblox, yes. That made me happy right there. So they're still not getting any more. They're still only going to get their $10 a month or whatever it is. But
Let them live a little. Roblox looks interesting.
My kids
41
more than
break.
a little. That's the problem.
No, what's interesting about that 40 break is I pull up the daily chart because Roblox is spicy over 41 because I was trying to remember what that level was, and it was actually 41 in here on Roblox. This is another one of the break the channel, the slight down channel that I think was maybe a couple of weeks ago. We were pointing out this one, and now you're breaking it out. Intel's doing a similar kind of thing, but it's a different channel. AMD did a similar channel, but it was Corning. Just very quickly, I wanted to talk about Corning because these guys on that upgrade downgrade list, like Weewa yesterday, Corning, what a move they had. So sometimes on a day where the market's flat-ish and you don't have a lot of catalysts, well, what was ridiculous yesterday, and maybe just have a look at it again today. I know it's only up 0.5%, but this was so nasty off the $40 level all the way to 43, and a good trend to the upside. So pretty obvious levels. The opening range top here was like $42, then consolidate off 42. Any dip into 42, or even this level here, like 42.70, 42.5 area, I think that can be played today. Just a little continuation. GLW, Corning, just an absolute rocket ship in yesterday's trade. Typically speaking, after a day like that, you can't expect to have as big of a day. It's only really done that. If you look at all the really big days here, there's only one time that it was another rocket ship, the second day. But, monster day, and then a green day after that, small red day. This one couldn't break the top, so you have to watch out for that. But then you had a couple of days of continuation here. So you always want to give it that shot. This is by far the biggest day that it has had in quite some time. So it's definitely going to be a bit of an outlier for Corning. But if it dips back in, I just want to look for any bases of operation where you can go back into that long. Great day again for Corning.
We're just laughing about Tesla and how insane this move has been. Yeah, I mean, you were just mentioning Cathie Wood selling into the weekend, I guess, going back to the end of last week. But I don't have the updated numbers yet from her side, but as of July 2nd, she had 4,069,000 shares of Tesla.
So this is what she sold last week, was a drop in the bucket then, Brendo.
Yeah.
So on Tuesday, she sold about 63,000 shares. And on Wednesday, she sold a bit more, 13,000 and change. Friday, the latest of the day, is about 3,600. Decent move here for Tesla. Obviously, looking to reallocate the money. It's an actively managed fund, Brendo,
Yeah.
so really unsurprising here.
I mean, she's been buying this thing for so long now. Her average price is actually not that great either. It's 187. So, I mean, yeah, it's a huge trade, but you would think it might be a little bit lower. But, yeah, still probably, better part of 4 million shares in the pocket of Cathie Wood, guys.
Randy, here he is. Oh, no, now we hear ourselves again. No. Man. We had an audio guy in yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Say what and who now?
What did he say?
I don't know. I couldn't hear him.
I wasn't even like.
I mean, not bad, right there. Okay. How's it going, Randy?
Go on.
All right.
It's just going. Okay.
Oh, that is the
the one.
animation shirt.
Hit it.
Yeah. Oh, it's almost a perfect match. There we
It's
go.
over.
That was nice. That was nice. That was perfectly.
Just end the show right now. That's perfection right there.
All right.
Wow.
Well,
Randy.
weren't we just talking about Tesla too?
Shoot, what were we? Now I already forget what we were just talking about.
I don't know.
We already mentioned the EVs,
Yeah,
so
we
you
did
can't really
mention
go there.
EVs.
Oh, well.
I don't know. That was fun with Randy.
No,
What was it? Tesla you guys were throwing to? Or
yes.
allegedly, right? Yeah. So I thought it was Tesla. So there you go. Yeah. Look, yesterday my biggest trade of the day, and I think it was of the month, was this break for Tesla. We waited for it. It didn't happen until about 10:05 or so, and it was just that 250 break, and it went $4 immediately. You know, we were out most of it for that $1.50, $2, and then we did get 54 yesterday. You go find it at Trader TV, Sean, the exact trade. And then that move to the upside was a monster as we bounced off the 50 period. So it was great riding this until it broke. So I'm almost feeling like the same kind of thing here today. Let's see if we can get some dip buys into maybe now today, this 249, see if it settles down. And if it does, then we can maybe use that wick down there at 248.70 as our jump off spot there, as sort of like, I should sort of patent something like this is like a spring coil right there, like just booming to the upside there. You got to find those. They're hard to find. Even like the sell rate here right at the end of the day as well. So we're always looking for those kind of, we talked about that on Palantir, some of these wicks and trying to break them and use them for support again. So we'll see if this 249, 248 level right there, that's 250, right? And the one that we use down there is 248.75. So yeah, I think Tesla's ready to go again, even though it's down 0.69. Remember yesterday off the open, it was down as well. So we were below, you know, here's where we closed on Friday. This is where we opened. So we closed at 251, 252 on Friday, opened yesterday at 248. So we were down more than this yesterday on Tesla before it got going. So yeah, I mean, I really like the long here. I like the stock, and I think it's trying to get to 270-ish, you know. And then I would say it's probably, as I put down for Intel on the sticky note, overcooked. I think Tesla is going to be overcooked here as well at some point. So I just don't think that's happening yet.
What's interesting is it was last week we were talking with Brian Shannon about, you know, strong stocks that are breaking out, and then what happens when you have like this, like a downward sloping 200 period moving average. And that's one of the things he was mentioning is sometimes you get these breakouts, which is a distinct one. Like, I'm not discounting anything that Tesla did. Look, Tesla, lower lows, higher highs, lower lows, higher lows, or lower highs as well. And then it made this breakout just last week. You're getting the consolidation. But one of the things he mentioned is when you have that with the downward sloping 200, it's just watch out for the next big resistance level, which would be 265. So I think until it gets to this 265, it tested 60 yesterday, pulled back. Maybe 60 is going to be it. But until we get there, I still want to look for the continuation play here. We'll show you guys an Intel and an AMD chart. We're just talking about Roblox doing something similar. When you break these downward channels, it's a good time to just look for the longs. I haven't really seen anything here that shows you that it's failing the move, because even when it dips, you end up closing back at the high, that 252 area. And then even yesterday, when it kind of broke out, failed 260, it manages to still hold on to the previous close level. So that's a big one. Can it hold above 253? I think it's an over-under for me. If it's above 253, I think it's certainly strong into 60 and then 65. If it fails the 653, I'm more looking back to the two-day support, which is closer to 45 than anything else. So that close price is key for me here on Tesla. Like, I want to see it get back above that price. And if we're talking about EV names, I don't want to ignore Rivian with a very similar. If you ignore the rest of the chart and just look at yesterday, kind of made the big move, broke out 15, pull back, and it's holding exactly at yesterday's close price as well. The difference is Rivian still holding nicely above that key resistance, and it has not filled in the entirety of that gap since it went, Volkswagen story crazy. So it's still in an upward trend as well. I think a dip into $15 makes some sense in here. 15.20 also a level for Rivian. So the EV names, at least they're trying to play some catch up. This is a long way away from breaking out Rivian. But still, it's making an effort. I don't know what's going on with this trend line that I have in there. But there we go. Randy back in the building. We got a fresh coffee. The EVs that are not named Fisker are running. Fisker's Ascent. Lucid is trying and failing. Rivian not looking bad in the daily, though. Nah?
Yeah, we just covered Tesla. Yeah, 250 already. 250. I think it's getting overheated a little bit here, up a lot. So we'll see what winds up happening with Tesla up to 270. Randy, I mean, this has been a good run for these guys. We talked about their infrastructure play and what that means for them. So I just think it's going to get top heavy here and come back in. I mean, the Bulls have won here, and at some point, the Bears will as well. So, anyways, we'll see about Tesla. It was a big trade yesterday, breaking through 250. We'll see if we can do it again here today. Let's go back over to the desk. Thanks, Randy. 56.25,
guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES September contract. We're really hovering here at 56.40. That's the overnight high, awfully close to that area. This is all-time highs, guys, so there's no resistance level off which we can chart, but we can look at this 56.10 as support. That's been the support the last couple of days. We'll go ahead and say 56.50. Let's see how we do at that 50-point level for resistance.
All right, let's get into everything else we need to know here this morning. If you haven't done so, make sure you grab the watch list, tradertv.live, enter your email address, and that is it. That is all that is required to get everything you need to know delivered right to your inbox every single morning. Here's Apple trying to take out the highs as we speak. I think it actually did, but pulling back here a little bit, 228.25, but nice move back higher here. I mean, one of many, but here's Piper Sandler maintaining their positivity on Apple, going to 225 on the price target. The entire group, essentially, big tech with positive notes this morning.
Yeah, it's a bit of a backhanded price target upgrade here, Brendo, from Piper Sandler. We'll talk a little bit about what they said. They believe, obviously, AI could be a significant drive. They also believe the potential return for better sales in China could also boost Apple. But they are worried about, a lot of good news is already priced into the stock, as well as concerns with consumer spending. They think that that could put a bit of a damper on the upcoming super cycle we're all expecting.
The leader of the Apple cheerleaders, Dan Ives, saying $4 trillion on the back of the 16 coming up.
I mean, it's just a matter of when. It's not an if.
I mean,
it's not
I
an
think
if
that's
thing.
possible.
It's yeah. Like at the end of the day, when analysts are talking or numbers get thrown out,
It's already 3.5.
that's what I'm saying. When it's a reasonable number, it's like, okay, well, of course it's going to get there at some point. Like, Apple's not going anywhere. It's when you get those ridiculous, like Cathie Wood Tesla numbers. We're like, okay, now tell me what you think, like what you could possibly think could get it to that price. But Apple, of course, we're going to get to $4 trillion. But as a day trader, we can't be too worried about that. It's just another fresh high. It doesn't really have any blots on this chart. You just look at yesterday, and I love V-shaped recoveries because it's a sign of strength. Like for it to dump like that at the open, not even hold on to that Friday afternoon support level, which was really good. Like that 220, like this 223, 224 was a great spot on Friday. For it to not even hold that initially, but then run away from it on the way back, I don't think we get a chance to trade off that price. So once again, I'm just going to look at if the afternoon high held on a dip on Friday, can the afternoon high hold on a dip again today? I mean, like just as simple as that. It's about 226 in there. Like yesterday, give it a little bit of room if it wants to dip further than that. But I think dipping in at 226, just play the trend until it breaks, has been the way to go. Consolidation days happen on the stock, which is fine. Not every day is going to be a rocket ship for it. But the trend is certainly really good. You've had a lot of strong days in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think you can make it 6. Just looking for the dip back into 226.
Yeah, it's just one of those days again here where I'm just not sure. We're underneath on VWAP here for the futures, but we're above on Apple. Yeah, I don't know. So that's giving me a little bit of a pause for concern. And then plus, it's such a nice move to the upside here. I mean, I still want to be long everything. And we're above, we broke, but it's like, this happened. This was our only red stock yesterday. And like I said, we had our biggest day in a couple weeks for sure. And it was just because we tried to catch this and then we missed it. We got out and then we were long Palantir and NVIDIA and Tesla and all that stuff while this was happening. But at the end of the day, it did have this pretty dramatic drop off into 223 yesterday. Like that's a smooth $5 just buying that into where we are right now. So I wonder if there will be some more selling coming through for Apple at some point. Yeah, that 226 would be great. Let's just watch it. We might have to be buying some 227.50s here, something like that, into this sort of consolidation from yesterday's pre-market level and then into the close. So I think this is a little bit better of an area, especially if you're a little more optimistic than I am on the market. Then yeah, Apple into 227.50 is probably going to be the buy spot. So yeah, I really like this stock, and I believe everybody on all upgrades and all that kind of stuff, because honestly, I know we're not going to get to NVIDIA in a minute, but when these stocks start to run and then Apple starts to perform with their sort of expectations on their super cycle, I just, like when those numbers come out, if you're not already long, you're going to need to get long. So when do they make the announcements? It's like late August, sort of, I guess, for the new iPhone 16 when they make the hardware. or into September, and then October is when everyone starts.
And they report on the 1st.
Like that's not that far away, you know, like September, October, like we're middle of July almost. So yeah, I think Apple's just getting geared up, but the run could already be in it a little bit. So that's why I'm saying we don't have to get long right now. If it does dip by, fine. I think a 230 break sort of confirms everything, and if we can get that today, then why not punch long? Because hey, you mentioned 4 trillion, Brendan. I think that's around $260. Like that's gonna, when that hits, you know.
I think it hits it, and the day after is going to be a good short.
Long Palantir, someone said, yep.
The hoopla and fanfare that was made when, you know, companies started getting to 2 trillion, and then we were talking 2.5 trillion and 3 trillion. Now it's 4. It's crazy. Tesla just popped up on a scanner in front of me here. It didn't really do much, but back above 251 briefly there, just came right back down. Just watch out for that, but it was moving around a little bit. There's Intel. 1, 2, 3 days in a row here, trying to make it 3 days in a row higher. Call it 4 even though it was a little bit of a quiet day going back to Wednesday of last week. But gapping up here again this morning. There's nothing really significant, but still 2.8% here in the pre-market.
Unbelievable. Yesterday, 6.15% regular trading hours. Then I messaged Neil in the aftermarket. It was up another 3% in the aftermarket. This one kept on going. So here's the look. So analyst Ben writes, he works for I believe, well, I'll tell you in a second, he's looking at Intel as a strong player in the second half of 2024 as a result of AI. They've got a new this CPU called Lunar Lake. Microsoft released a new PC that could take advantage of its features, so they like that look. There's a new GPU being pushed out by Intel called BattleMag. It's for PC gaming, but it's supposed to be built by TSMC on the 4 nanometer process technology, which is quite advanced. So I'll have to wait and see. It's expected in 2025. The market liking what they hear so far from Intel.
Just reading a note on this one, HIMS, they have a GLP-1 drug. Apparently the Q1 or Q2 revenue is going to be higher than initially expected for HIMS, again, on their GLP-1 drug.
Yeah, HIMS, kind of flat. When it moves, that's a good stock when it does move. But look, Intel, you can talk all you want about fundamentals, all that stuff. The reason we cared about it was simply, it was a breakout, plain and simple, of a really tight converging channel on the stock. Like, look at the wedge that it formed. You then broke it out on Friday. You had the continuation yesterday as well. And if you go all the way back to April 26th on earnings, this top is 35, like 40 or so. So it's at that spot where it needs to make another, it would have to break 35, 40 to break out that earnings high, which puts a pretty wide range. If it fails that, I think back into 34 makes a lot of logical sense. That was yesterday's high in the morning. It was kind of a consolidation at the close. It closed at 33.99. So I think that's the place where you look for any kind of a continuation on it. Caveat, when I was at home after the MRI was done, I was like, oh, actually it was on the way back when my parents were driving me home. I was like, oh, is Intel giving you any chance today? Because I wanted to see that continuation that we were talking about on Friday, and it was dipping right into 33. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick some up on my personal account, because if it does hold that move, if this holds on to like the 50-period moving average, I think getting to like the 60, so the 200-period makes a lot of sense. But it needs to break 35.40 today. If it doesn't do that, it dips into 34, which means a heck of a lot of patience for this. And we'll talk about AMD and NVIDIA a little bit later. So more chips, but in a bit.
Yeah, I think the problem with Intel is like, I mean, there's no problem. It's been really great. I just think it sucks because I don't think there wasn't too much buying happening here. Like most were waiting for this $25, $26, $27 area, and it looks like now we got confirmation that this 30 is going to be it. So going to wait for it to have to pull back now, because it's been such a good move back up there to the upside for Intel. I could show you yesterday's sticky note. We nailed this one, man. Here it is right here. We wrote down 32.50, and it was one of the top stocks for me yesterday. Intel, we bought this. I mean, the trades that we had on yesterday were worked out quite well, especially early. We were looking at Intel because of this gap fill. And we even wrote down on the sticky note that it was probably going to stop at 34. Like we had hit this long early and then got out up here at 34. and that was the top. That we actually rebought it here at VWAP a couple of times and took it back up to the upside before eventually, I think, covering it in and around here as we came back from the midday show in the afternoon. So yeah, Intel, look, fantastic. I wrote it down here today that we'd like the long if it did fall back into $34. I don't think that's going to happen at all. So, you know, up 3%. Looks like the market wants to try to hold out here. I don't know. The market hasn't moved basically in, I guess, a half hour. So we'll have to wait to see if something can happen there. The name that we're going to talk about, I guess we don't have to get going too much, but NVIDIA was just running up a little bit there, up to 131. So that would be something to look at. We'll continue to have a look at these names, but Intel on my radar, but it's going to have to drop for me to get interested.
Be aware, Fed's bar looks like beginning a speech at this point. 10 o'clock, though, we get Fed Chair Powell coming up, so keep that in mind as well. Here is Bitcoin. What is that? 56,000. Ends up holding as support over the past couple of days, but a nice pullback into 56,000. Trying to bounce once again for BTC, so worth keeping an eye on some of these ETFs again today.
Yeah, those ETFs had about $300 million flow into them yesterday, Brendo. The best of the bunch was BlackRock's IBIT. Second was FBTC by Fidelity. Even Grayscale, GBTC, had about 25 million flow in yesterday. As I mentioned at the top of the show, 10 times research, the analyst there, warning of a potential summer slowdown for Bitcoin based on just the historical trends. And the weakness may, occur into the summer month going into Q4, where this analyst expects possible bump.
Yeah, as you mentioned, pretty good time to maybe be putting something back into these ETFs sitting here at this same support level right now.
Blessing.
Crypto.
So crypto, look, 58's turned into resistance. We'll talk about Bitcoin because it's Bitcoin. Let's be real. But if you look at what happened, like Bitcoin made another test of 54,000. So there's the big move that we had last week. It made another test of 54,000. You've recovered from that. And this 58 area does look like a local resistance for BTC. All is probably fine when you look at this on a high enough time frame. But there is some concern. I mean, that 58 level that was support, it's kind of turning into this resistance spot. But it's a lick grab underneath, holding 54. If it breaks back out, I think you just make a big rally. But until it breaks this channel that it's in, I think you look for the obvious range-bound trades. So if you've been watching the last couple of weeks, Mara, just to keep it relatively simple, when it's at 23, it's a short. When it's down at 19, it's not an automatic long at 19 because there have been a couple of breaks underneath it. But this was a lot of support in here at the 50 period and the $19 level. And just simply look at what happened. Friday didn't really get there. It was like 1940. Yesterday was a bit of a test of 19. So I think that bottom end of the range is where I'd want to play today. If you're a consolidation range in crypto, then Mara in a consolidation, it's near the lows, which means look for that bounce, either 19 even or these 18, 20 areas down there. So I'm looking for a dip buy. I just don't feel like we're close enough to it. It would take quite a move to the downside to get that on the bids. I didn't have it on my note just because I didn't think it was that likely we get there. But I said that about that 23 level when it ended up getting there last week on the first, the stock was at like 21 bucks. Next thing you know, you're at that 23 right quick. So you never want to completely write it off as long as Mara wants to hold that 19. And then again, those 18, 20 lows. I think that's where you wait for the long. You got to be patient. You got to wait for those key prices to come in when it's range bound.
Yeah, we will also be looking at Ethereum here today. We want to look at 3,000, so it's at the bottom here, 3,064. We'll see if it wants to hold. NVIDIA's pulling back a little bit. The market's are my futures even working here? I mean, it doesn't seem like the market's doing much.
It's not doing it.
But anyway, this is going to be about the $3,000 level, about 2740, 2750 here on ETHE. So if we do get pullbacks into that level, that would be something for me to start to look at. I don't know if we have to pay for shorts on this, but we have our ear to the ground here and try to listen for, updates on any sort of news regarding to crypto. I mean, we had that Mt. Gox sale, hopefully, and flooding the market with some more liquidity, which provides more volatility. And we've seen Bitcoin already dip into 54. So nice little bounce back to 57 and change. But at the end of the day, I'd like to get back above 60, 62 to confirm the uptrend is back for Bitcoin. So right now, 57, got to get above 58 first. And that would be a key level maybe to short if you're looking for a short in Bitcoin.
True that.
All right, let's go back to semiconductor land. We're coming in pretty hard here for AMD currently, now red on the morning to the tune of about 0.75% if you zoom in a little bit. About to make a new low here. We're right at that late support level in the day yesterday, but KeyBank maintaining their overweight on AMD, NVIDIA, among others today, but all of them kind of looking like this right now.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous strength yesterday for the chips, Brendo. They were kind of weak last week while some of the Mag 7 names continued to run. But yeah, AMD, one of the only red chips right now. It had a great day yesterday. KeyBank upgrading its price target from 220 to 230, as well as several others. NVIDIA was in there as well. Qualcomm, Marvell, all had a comment from KeyBank today, commenting about the semis.
As you mentioned, yeah, a few of them going the opposite direction. Here's TSM as well. We talked about that one yesterday. Back towards session highs right now, so there's a little bit of strength.
AMD.
Whoa. So AMD was like, it's down 0.7% into an up market, which is 0.3 to the upside. So you got NVIDIA up 1.8. You got the market slightly up. You got AMD down. And I don't want to put AMD back in that bad bucket. Because, again, it was another stock with that trend breakout on the daily chart. So there's your trend break. It then got through this key 175 level. That's the previous top. So dips back into there makes sense. Like it dipped back into 174. That was that crazy high. It was so ridiculous on Friday. It had a pretty good day yesterday as well. But a dip back into that makes sense. You're just a little bit far away. So if you get down into 174, retesting that previous high, I think that makes a lot of sense to kind of sit out this range on AMD. If it tries to break a 180, when you see something like this, it made the move, now it's getting into that resistance spot. When it had its April earnings, it essentially failed the 180 level. So if you fail break 180, at the open, let's say it pops, breaks 180, comes right back underneath, trends under. I think it's a short under that price. But at the first look, given where it's trading now, would be a pullback into previous highs on the daily, which is also this 174 dip zone for AMD. NVIDIA, as Sean already mentioned, like the trend has not been, oh, I'm missing a little bit of the data. It doesn't really matter. You can kind of see you can kind of see like the consolidation, 129, 130. You're now holding above that. So when a stock has defined resistance and it breaks out above it, to me, it's just a long until it breaks back underneath. There's a bit of a gap that it could start to fill, but everything starts with finally breaking that 131. It's been the same resistance we've been staring at. Like I wasn't even here, and it's the same resistance we were looking at from Friday, essentially. And now you're gapping above it, so if it holds the open on NVIDIA, I think you got to look long. There is one name that I think stands a little bit distinctly different from the others, and that would be Micron. Micron was very weak on Friday, did not have another good day again yesterday. It has been just consolidating down here, but on a day where I think you want to have some ideas in both directions, Micron has been resting and just chilling out. When the other names go higher, it just seems like it goes sideways. You got this 133, was the same resistance in the afternoon on Friday. It was yesterday's top. And we're at 131.5. But if it's a weak day today, this would be the chip name that I like, short off the 133. It's been trending down a little bit better than some of the others.
Yeah, look, we have NVIDIA written down as one of our top names on our sticky note here today, so we're going to continue to watch out for that. We've had it on here for a little bit. We traded it yesterday pretty well. Like I said, we only had the one red name, and that was going to be Apple, 128 to 129. Pretty simple stuff we wrote down. We want to buy the strongest names. Yesterday's close, a worthy entry. So we'll wait to see if that can hit for us. Right now for NVIDIA, so if we can get in at 128, that'd be fantastic. Of course, we were writing this note when we were at 130. That's where we are right now. So I feel like there is that opportunity. We talked about what Tesla and some of those names like Apple and all that did yesterday. Well, NVIDIA did the opposite. It went up and then faded out. So today, with it being up 1.65%, again, it looks very, very similar to what we were setting up yesterday. We were down into the close on Friday, and you got to watch out for some of that selling that happens at close. So obviously some big volume hit around that 350 marker, but it opened up high, was up about 1.5% again, similar to today, and it just kept going. So can it keep going? Yes. Yes, it can. So I think that maybe a 130 dip buy opportunity might be in the cards real early for this name. That that's if you're looking to make sort of an interesting early play where you might be able to catch the bottom. I don't think it's worth putting a lot of shares into that, because if the market does continue to fall in a little bit here, which it's not, it's under VWAP, we keep talking about that. But if it does fall back in, then yeah, 129, maybe you start your bidding. For me, more serious shares have to happen down here near 128. So if NVIDIA can give us that, then great. Up 1.6%. And see the market right here? This is what I'm talking about. It's just a little making up its mind. And I don't know. So we'll wait to see. To me, this looks like it wants to go down, but we'll give it a shot. There we go. The imbalances are now out for the NASDAQ, and you're starting to see some movement here with NVIDIA pushing into 130. Palantir still a buy. There's NVIDIA with a sell. So here it is right here on the imbalances. And as we said before, as we explained it in the videos out, go to our Trader TV webpage, type in, oh, there's Tesla here. So Tesla with a little bit of a sell, Apple with a little bit of a sell, AMD with a buy right now. So these trades are going to execute on open. So if these numbers grow or stay the same, then you're going to have 90,000 shares or so on for TSM as well, 200,000 shares to buy off the open. And that's going to affect the opening price. So we'll wait to see if these imbalances get these stocks going. But I like NVIDIA. I'm already bidding 129 and 128.
All right, well, we'll wrap up here with Oracle and Palantir. Oracle coming back into basically where it ended the day yesterday and trying to hold not a lot of volume behind either of these, but positive for both so far. Palantir up about 0.6 with a new deal involving their cloud infrastructure.
Yeah, this makes Palantir's artificial intelligence platform, AIP for short, certified and available across all of Oracle's cloud infrastructure. It combines Oracle's distribution with cloud, with AI, with Palantir's AI capabilities. It's good for both governments and commercial use, so we'll have to wait and see how this does. Oracle needing a good headline despite being at local highs because of the possibility that they lose the TikTok account in the coming future.
Yeah, 28 ended up being a problem yesterday, right at the open, got slammed all the way back down to Friday's close, 27. But we're back up here again, guys, 27.80, 28 coming into play.
Yeah, so just maybe Oracle, very, very quickly, a note on Oracle. I think it just needs to break out the top. On the daily, you got 146 up here. It's kind of heavy going into it. You see the consolidation. So I don't wonder if it's running out of steam and needs some time. But if it does take out this high, like 146 change, this one could rally. I just think Palantir has already done it. Like Palantir already made the break, and it's attempting to consolidate over that top 27.5. That does set it up for a pullback today. If it pulls back 27.60, 27.20 are the two levels. So that high in there, and then this higher low in there. And if it breaks out the top at 28, just join trend. There's got to be a day where you're willing to join trend if you see it. If you don't get the dip buy you want and you just simply break out, then you got to be able to just stick with it. Like on Friday, this is a name that absolutely ran ramshot in the morning, just breaking everything out. But if you were just patient and sort of waited for your chances to buy the dips late in the day, there were places to join the trend. It's just a matter of making sure that you can get them. So let's see what happens. Palantir is more on the radar than Oracle would be. Wake me up when Oracle actually breaks that high as opposed to just looking at it.
Yeah, Oracle, 145. Geez, okay.
It's close.
Wow, all right. Oracle's another one, man. Like we had bought that name like at 107. Like for Oracle, and it's like I might have to get out of some of these names. Look, Palantir's on the sticky note. It was a big trade yesterday. It's going to be a big trade today. I want to see it break that 28.25. That's what I have written down. So if we could break 28.25, then we'll probably go long. But now that I've seen this name, I actually have it at 28.25. I'm going to change it, I think, to 28.10 right now, just to get a little bit better. So I'm putting in right now the break long through 28.10, on Palantir. Here it is right here. It's these little highs. I mean, we like the stock. It had a huge move down yesterday, which is why we were able to lose on it early and then get flushed, was very patient. We talked about, we were really thought it was pretty cool how we did that and waited for it to make that bottom, then took 27 long and able to make that money back that we lost on that initial flush. So if it does flush again, we want to be there for Palantir. So yeah, we're getting ready to rock and roll here. Thanks for joining us one more time. Where's Adara? She's over there. Okay, so we only have now 30 seconds until the bell, and she'll come over here. Amazon breaking 201. I like that trade. I like buying NVIDIA dips. We'll have our eye on Apple. We'll see if that can do something. But for right now, it's Amazon, NVIDIA, Palantir, and good luck, as we wrote down on here with only 20 seconds left. Intel, maybe a bit, and Alibaba will look at that one if we get bored. Okay, what's up, Adara? Here we go. So still a lot of time left, still 15 seconds left. So,
but no,
yeah,
we got 10 now. The countdown is on. There weren't a lot of big imbalances, but there's a lot to watch today. Tesla going to be in play. Chips are always going to be in play. Intel worth watching. But ring it in 2 and 1, Adara.
All right. So
Ooh, the dead one.
Doing too much. Palantir almost broke, so we'll go over to Palantir quickly and have a quick look. Amazon's trying to take out 2 bills, so that could be another name. So Palantir got, look what Palantir got. Wow. That's why you do not put a 28 break, right? It came right in there and did not basically false broke there and came right back in. So here's Amazon right now. Looks like it wants to go. So Obi and I talked about not taking the 200 break long just to see if there was a seller there or not. But I'll take a little piece here as we get going on 200. If it does fall back in, we could definitely get out on a 199 break lower. So we'll give this one $1 worth of risk here on Amazon, but not a big trade for us because we're really waiting for 201. Yeah, NVIDIA's... yeah, okay, go ahead.
NVIDIA got to 130.80. It's about 30 cents away. Now pulling right now, it's going for the 131 break here. So here comes the move in NVIDIA into that top. Let's see if it breaks it. Every time we look at these things, you will stare at it, and then it just obviously doesn't always break when you want it to, but we'll give it a chance to try to go. There it goes, breaking 131. I was looking at Intel as well, but that wasn't doing anything but pulling back. Want to get some out quarters if we can. Amazon chilling. Oh, yeah, Palantir, nothing really doing on Palantir. I was going dip buy into 27.60. It got to 77s here, 27.75, so it got pretty close. And just ripped through the 28, as Sean mentioned. Position board, guys. Position board not working. It looks like I'm only in NVIDIA.
Yeah, definitely not working yet. Yeah, I don't mind that 27.80 area there for
Apple.
Palantir.
Whoa, Apple.
So we'll definitely check that out. So we're only in Amazon. So yeah, the position board not working yet. We're at long Amazon right here at $200. So we'll wait to see if it goes. I don't love this position. You know, we're out of this one. If it breaks, you know what? I might even just get out if it breaks. We don't have to be in it. So 199.50. All right, that's going to be the trade that we're going to get out on if it does break here on Amazon. I don't think it. Hopefully it doesn't get down there, but I just want to test it out. We do know that 198 is a much better level for us as well. And yeah, there goes NVIDIA to the upside. You said that you're in that one, so that's going to be a good one. 131.50, breaking higher right there. That's good. Here comes Palantir. It's going to be at a level that we're going to be talking about here of 28.10 in just a matter of seconds. So we'll see if that one can hit. If it does hit, we can get out if it breaks back below 28 because we're going to try to do some damage on this name. But again, look at the market just blasting up here as tech and chip names looks like leads the way here. Amazon just
not Apple.
Oh no, Apple's heading down. Okay.
Apple is dipping. I'll get to look. NVIDIA just crossed 131.5. I got an offer to try and get it through 132. So if it makes the next $0.50, we'll try to get some out. But Apple, hey, if we're looking for a dip buy, the dip buy is coming. So I'm on the bid in front of 226 on Apple. It looks like it's trying to bounce a little bit higher than that. So 226.40 is the current low. I'll look for a retest of that level. But Apple dropping like it's hot, I suppose. Currently just looking for some kind of a bounce. I'd like to see this thing settle down instead of just jumping in front of a moving freight train. But this is falling like an absolute rock right now on Apple. No news on it. There was an upgrade. But it wasn't an upgrade. It was a price target up, but it was actually bad if you read the report. But Apple's trying to come back in here. Now it's a little bit of a bounce. I see a double bottom. I'll take the shot.
Yeah, we are. Palantir just fell off of 28.10 again. Like we didn't get in, so that was really lucky that we didn't get hit into that one again because we would have been stopped out right there on that. It seems like it wants to go, but it's not really doing too much, and neither is Amazon right now. So let's just continue to look somewhere else. We can look at Intel. We wanted to talk about a fade on Intel, and that didn't really happen. It came into the pre-market bottom of 34.75, so that could be something. Amazon again, it gets bought up near the bottoms. But still started from the bottom.
Now we're here.
It's not, yeah, I was going to say it's not even here, but it's chilling out right now. That bottom would have been good, man. 199 and change right off the open. We didn't get that. We saw it run up and thought, hey, maybe we're being a little bit too, conservative, trying to take it at 201. Let's take it at 200. So we did take some there. My big trade is coming if and when we break through 201. So we'll have a quick look at that when that does happen. AMD again today, we saw that move hit low. Wow, but AMD just takes out 180 as well as that continues to climb to the upside there. AMD just taking out names.
What a rocket.
There, nice move up to 180. Obviously, NVIDIA 3150.
Intel's just not moving.
Yeah, I didn't, I had that feeling about Intel today, man. I talked about that. I didn't really love that name today.
Should go somewhere, though.
Yeah, it should. And then Tesla, another name that we were on all over yesterday, that one seems to go upside now as well. I mean, look at this market. There's no holding anything back other than Amazon, as we know that Bezos continues to sell that. So I got to get long on something now. I was looking at DraftKings, but there goes Tesla again. I mean, a big move, trying to take out 255. I guess that's... It's not really, I don't see anything really here from yesterday, 255 and change. I think like the break probably is the 253 here. So maybe a pullback into 253 and we can watch out for Tesla. Of course, market ripping. I'm long the wrong one here on Amazon, but that's okay. We're going to wait for Palantir to take out the top coming out shortly.
Yeah, PLTR is chilling at that 38. When I say Intel's not moving, it's just that it's basically hugging this 35. It's got to pick a direction one way or the other. No break at 35.40. That's a key one. It has to take it out. NVIDIA just pulled right back into 131 even. So it did tag the top again, took some back out when it did not break through 132. It needs to hold this pre-market high break. But all of a sudden, AMD is stronger than NVIDIA. Oh, never mind.
We got a new position.
It's not stronger at all. Let's go to Adara. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Keep an eye on Longevron here. This one getting increasing volume, currently at highs of day up about 15%. Announcing over the last few days some additions to its board of directors. Today they announced this senior health investment banker, Neha Motwani, being elected to its board of directors. Keep in mind with Longevron, you do have a 46.8% short float out of a total float of about 4.27 million shares. So LGVN on watch, guys.
So guys, we are working on the position board. We are well aware, but we are well aware of this right now too. Spin that money coming through right now as there goes Apple exploding now to the upside here. We're almost $1 in the money on Apple. Palantir starting to pop a little bit. We are in this name, but I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see how far this one wants to go, if it wants to go at all. Palantir trying to get going. We're long at 13s only. We tried to get those 11s, but I guess we pumped a little bit higher and got hit on that. So we'll wait to see. Not hit. We like to be long 11s. We're long at 13s right now. So let's go Palantir. Try to get that going to the upside. What is happening? Apple is just ripping now. We're going to have to watch out for that, as is Amazon. So far, so good. There goes Palantir. Nice trade here. Yeah,
Palantir going, yeah, position board's not working. I'm only in 2 names. Palantir held that 28 level and took out the top. You just mentioned it. So I have actually have the same price. I tried to get something at 7s and 8s and only got it when it broke out to 10s. NVIDIA just dipped into VWAP 131, so we're looking for a reload on that one as it's continuing to go upside. But it was AMD that made the big move. Remember we said if it fails 180? 180 fail here on AMD. So it's underneath that. I think this can be a reversal play. Any retest of 180, I got to feel like it's a short. That was a plan of action if it failed a 180 break. Not short Palantir. Last covers. It's showing covers.
Yeah, we are
as outs as positions, but it's actually not a short position, guys.
Yeah, we are. We're really good on Palantir here. Again, probably some of the most shares I've hit Palantir with ever. So there it goes, nicely done to the upside here. We're cooking, baby. As there goes Palantir. Let's go. You got to take these trades, man, when they're there. And there goes Palantir. So that's 20 now cents in the money. But Apple is really putting some damage on the board as well. This will just be one of those days again, man. We talk about taking vacation days. It's real nice to take vacations. There's no doubt about that. But man, do I miss coming back in trading these markets because we're having a good time today, baby. Good one there. Apple, huge move up. We just talked about that. And then Palantir. I'm like not panicking, but I'm getting some out. You guys know that the way I'll trade this. We are now out of about 40% of this position, and it's a big one for Palantir. So here we go. Nice move. 28.30. We've stopped here before. Let's see if we can continue that move higher. The market downside, Palantir upside. Not call for Adara, but
yes.
Oh, it is. Let's go.
Jumia Technologies on watch here. This one has run in the past. You can see here in the daily chart. Today up about 16%, getting a buy rating here from Benchmark at a $14 price target, currently trading around $10. So good look for JMIA, guys.
We'll have a look at that Jumi in a quick little Jumia, whatever the heck it is, in a couple of seconds. But you're getting this pullback, the market right back underneath those highs. So I want to look for anything that failed to break. We're back into NVIDIA 131 as it just held that a second time. But back into VWAP, going to look for the short here on AMD. Looks like it's going to be a strong one. Tesla is absolutely, it's pulling back in, but that 255 is a dip buy. Resistance level. I want to look dip buy into VWAP, which is exactly where we're at. So VWAP in here, 253 or so. Going to see if we can grab it. NVIDIA will take the $0.50 if we can one more time. But wanted to be into Tesla. Just thought we'd get something much, much lower. Got to play the trend. If we can hold VWAP here, we'll be all over it one more time here at TSLA.
Yeah, we'll have to reset the position board, of course. But right now we are. I wish I was short. It's falling down.
No, that's
a little bit right now. All right, so yeah, no, it's not right. All right, so here we go. We'll continue to work on that for you guys. I'm going to start to get some more out here of Palantir. We talked about already being out of 40%. We got out of more of that, so here it comes back to the upside right now. And just on this one trade, that might be the day. So we're trying to do this more and more for you guys, giving you big positions, big trades. So, you know, you can be that one and done, especially here in the summertime when it can get pretty slow right there. So there's Apple, basically dollar in the money right there for Apple. Just took out 85 cents. So we'll wait to see if that one can go now. Amazon, we did get some out there on Amazon. It did get back over 200. We got some out at 90s there. We're still holding 80% of this one, but our target to get out of this one is 199.50. Okay, here comes Palantir right back to the downside. Looks now. Right. So again, that's why you take that out for Palantir. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening now. I'll get a little bit more out right now, but it just needs to taking bigger positions and then getting out on the momentum really worked there as we planted some red roses right there. But so far so good. Good outs there as well on Apple. I don't know, man. The market, we didn't really have a good feeling about it today. It's flat right now. But so far, so good.
Wow, they're unbelievable. There goes Tesla, just broke out that 255 and then some. So we're still, look, NVIDIA pulls right back. It holds VWAP at 131, so we jump back into that trade. It's going to test the high of the day, and we'll look for places to join. But Tesla is an absolute rocket ship now. Cancel VWAP bid, not getting VWAP bid. You're now breaking out above 255. I think you just got to continue with it until it gets to 265. Well, 60 first and then 65. I don't think it has any obvious resistance spots. It's flying. You just want to join this back above that pre-market, not the pre-market, that 255 breakout. We'll look for the next available dip. VWAP is come and gone here in TSLA. Adara, what's up?
Not seeing any news on this, but just beware Reddit here on the move up. A little bit of social media attention for RDDT. They do have a short float of around 3 to 4% for what I'm seeing. So keep an eye on RDDT pushing higher here in your highs of day, guys.
Amazon's going to the downside right now. All right, so there goes Amazon. So again, we got out of it. We did take 50 cents. So we can celebrate the big wins and not tell you about the losses. It's not going to be a big loss, but it'll be a loss right there for Amazon to the downside. So we'll basically almost rack 1-to-1 here. Apple will be better. It's going higher here as it continues to go. But we'll take a hit on Amazon and take the dub there, obviously, on Apple as we're long 226.90s. So again, 30, 40, 50 cents on Apple, making that much money. But we did use more shares than on Apple than we did on Amazon. We were very, very cautious. And, you know, I'll pretty much ashamed to go back over there and talk to Obi because we had talked about not going long until we got a break of 201, which is exactly what we put on here, or a 198 long. So I feel like we got it now. My bids are down there. We'll wait, and we'll be as patient as we possibly can there with that one. And then Palantir. Palantir, again, good trade for sure. We were able to get out of it. We have put a little bit more liquidity into this name down here at this level. So let's take a piece out if it does let us and come back to the upside here for Palantir. But again, we did get out of the majority of those trades, those shares, sorry. And now we're just back in a little bit lower underneath 28.10. So that's the day it's been for me here. 3 names, 2 for 3. And very we're up more now today than we were yesterday but then yesterday we had that huge Tesla trade, which is about 10.05. So let's just see if we can be patient and wait to see if the market gives us anything. Like, the market's still not doing anything. We had a nice move up, and then it fell right back in again.
Yeah, you essentially faded that breakout on the NASDAQ. This is Zap stock from, it's been running for several days now, I want to say, but Zap is absolutely flying, and then halted to the downside. So a halt at 12, its tap is currently 12, so indicated open is going to be 12 even on Zap. The big level, if it does make a big pullback, $8 is a big one here on ZAPP. It is a halt risk all the way through. There's a bunch of shares on the offer of NVIDIA here at 132. Like, it's like almost a million shares on a 132 break. So I'm going to take a shot adding on this breakout here. It doesn't mean it has to go, but that's a pretty big level on the 132. So I'm going to add up there on a 132 break. If it dips again, VWAP is always going to be in play. But just going to cancel my stop and then readjust, because if it fails the 132 break, I do want to get out right quick. But I'm going to be adding to this one if it makes that breakout. We still like AMD if it does pop back and fail the 180 level. But NVIDIA has got a monster wall here. They've already hit the level for, I'd say, at least a third of it. There is the break. Did it break? I got sticky. No, it's broken. Yeah, I just had some sticky quotes in there. As it's breaking the level, you have like all that kind of crazy stuff going on. So we added to this one through 132. Obviously, like, the next out will be the last of our shares from the 31 dip buy, and then now off to the races is NVIDIA. Just a reminder, it has been up here before. This is not blue sky setup. If it gets to 133, that's the next big resistance level here on NVDA.
Yeah, we really love some.
Tesla as well.
We also love some Palantir. That's starting to go back to the upside. And again, PL number one here for me by far, and I've already talked about this, is Palantir. And we actually just reloaded it. So making it better and better. Make Palantir great again, as it has been that for the last little while. So there it goes, man. It's going to be the big stock of the day here for me, PLTR. All right, so Apple, again, a good one there. We did take that top when we got 85 cents there up to the 200 period moving average. Whether or not it gets there now, I do have some offers for Palantir at 21s for some reason. Why not just take a 20 at this point, cancel my 21s? It's not going to matter. We've traveled a little bit. We've done a little bit of work. There we go. Did we get that, Phil? Oops, I'm on the wrong gateway. No, we did not. Okay, well, good thing we didn't. So there it goes. Yes. Okay, we pulled our 20. And see, so I don't know if you guys just saw that. Like, I pulled my offer, and then the thing ripped up 4 cents. It's not like I'm having that many shares. It's just the fact, because it's done 10 million shares. It's just, it sees this liquidity in and out of the stock. And when it sees people lifting bids and offers, I mean, I hope you guys can see that live. I mean, this is kind of what we're trying to do here, is show you exactly how this market operates, right? And that's just a dirty little play right there that I just saw right in front of my face. So 50 cents still in the money here on Apple and Palantir. We'll just keep on ringing it up. So we'll wait for more trades, but right now we'll go over to Adair and see what she's up to.
Costs moving around here. This one was down about 15% in the pre-market, trying to go green, getting this patent grant here for personal acoustic system and flexible earpiece mount. So patent here for KOSS. We know this one has run here in the past. We also do have a short float of about 4%. Total float of 5 million shares. So KOSS on watch here, guys.
We're going to get that one up. If it's squeezing, you know what that did with the Roaring Kitty news. If there's actual news to the stock, well, it was a Roaring Kitty rumor, I shouldn't say. It wasn't really news. It was like a rumor. But if there's actual news on the stock, that is a squeezable name for sure. Look, NVIDIA broke 32s. It got to the quarters. It pulled back in. But now we want to go dip buy hunting. So the dip buys have been much, much better on this trend. Once you put in a couple of legs here, I want to see it hold one more time. Like, it's put in one bottom. Now I want to see if it can put another one in and around VWAP. If we get it, we'll look for 131.5. But I'd like to see a dip, or we're just going back into this thing over $132 again. So I want to see some kind of a dip buy opportunity for us here. Cost looks to the world like it could be on one of those moves again. But look at yesterday. This is pretty clean. 11 quarter, 11.10, 11.20. I want to say 11.20, 11 quarter. If it can't punch through there, it's kind of a nothing burger for a cost. So it's at the resistance spot. I'm not punching the top of this move. It needs to show continuation above $11. So my eyeballs are on NVIDIA for the next available dip buy. VWAP possibly. AMD, nothing burger. It's at VWAP, can't get back to the 180. I said it's a short if it fails a 180 breakout. It failed the 180 breakout. I just thought we'd get better than VWAP. The market seemed poised to be really strong today. So I kind of felt like at the open, you were going to get the prices you want. Suddenly, VWAP might be the only game in town here for AMD, but it'd have to be a tight stop. It's kind of far away from that 180 level to hold this short into 180.
All right, Apple right now, we can do it. There it is, man. Dollar Club for Apple there officially. We just took another piece out there at the 200 period moving average. So I just want to let you know that it is going to the upside. And then again, on the big, like I was talking about here, notionally wise, just a big trade here for Palantir. We didn't reload it with nearly the amount of shares that we did on this way when we punched along the first time. So again, the ideas here on the sticky note today is that Palantir break, and we had it, and we're pretty happy with that. We are almost out of all of our Apple right there as that dipped down. We definitely like that trade. The one that we're red on today, and again, we're up on Apple more than we're down on Amazon, right? And so that's the one thing. But Amazon right now seems to be bouncing a little bit off of this 199.25 area. So again, what I'm worried about is that offer gets lifted, and we've talked about that. I'm going to try it again here at 70, even though it's a nice move up. We do have the 200 period here at 61. I would now like to try to buy some more down here in and around 199 change. So I'm going to put a bid down there for 199, see if we get some love down there. If so, great. There's Palantir. There we go. We got long now on Amazon into 70. We'll see if we can scalp out. We know that it's going to be a problem up at 200. We've already seen that. So we just ran up to 983s there. So let's put an order in the 90s and see if we get a little bit more lift there for Amazon right now. So that's that for me. Obviously I like those NVIDIA trades.
34 is coming in.
We missed out 34 on
Intel.
On Intel?
Yeah, 34, almost to the dime.
Let's go.
Look, the only levels I liked on Intel was if it could have magically broken 35, 40. Not magically, it could have just broken the level.
It could have been magic. It could have been magic.
Well, magically meaning it didn't seem likely at the open. But 34, it's just yesterday's close and the morning high from yesterday. So if we can bounce off that, all well and good. AMD is reversing and breaking the lows. So we got the fail break. We didn't get the fail break down at 180. Then we're able to grab VWAP. But if we see 175, that's an easy out. We do like a dip buy into 174, yesterday's bottoms on AMD. This is starting to give it back here. We might get a dip buy opportunity in NVIDIA again, but
look at Amazon. Boom.
100% you're getting 34 before that happens. So we'll bounce off 34. That's what I'm looking for. First look on Intel as we're going to Adara.
Thank you to our sponsors at Benzinga Pro. Benzinga Pro paid for itself on day one. That's a real review from a real trader using Benzinga Pro. Thanks to Benzinga Pro's exclusive news alerts, real-time market insights, and community of over 6,000 dedicated traders, it's the fastest way to trade the news. And right now, you can try Benzinga Pro for the lowest price we offer during our July 4th sale. Use the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description box and join Benzinga Pro today.
Okay, thank you for that one. Yeah, costs moving around a little bit there today. We'll just go a little face slapper there. It wasn't a big trade, but it was 20 cents. We talked about getting out some of that Amazon at 90, so that's what we did. We actually got 87s there, my bad. So we got 87s on Amazon, so we'll watch out to see if that one wants to fill somewhere, but so far, so good there. I mean, I don't mind this trade. Let's hold on to that one. We did get some out there. Palantir is definitely having an issue right now, and not one that I'm happy with. So that 50 period is coming in. That's interesting there about Intel, because I was not thinking that was coming through. 27.90. I'm going to switch my outs for Palantir. So let's just do that 27.88 or so on a breakdown. We'll cancel that trade. We only have right now 10% of our blast position and about 20% of our reload. So we don't have a lot of positions here right now at all for Palantir, a lot of shares, sorry, for Palantir. We're going to wait to see if Amazon wants to pop. We still like that 201 area. Hopefully we'll be able to hit that when we do. And then Neil, I don't know, you're not in it yet unless that position board's incorrect, but Intel's coming in. So it's teasing me a little bit here, down to $34. So I'm thinking about stepping in and trying some Intel here at 34.
Yeah, there it is. It just takes a second.
Oh, you just got it. Okay.
No,
okay,
it takes a second. No, it's it was showing the graphic there for a second. No, but I had just gotten into Intel. It dipped into 34. I have 3402 as a local bottom on the chart. Sometimes you get a dark pool wick like in here that says 33.99. It's obviously that's not a real print, but it's starting to bounce off that level. I've trailed AMD because AMD might get back to that 177 and find a bid. Let me show you the reason why for AMD. It's just afternoon, zoom out. Whoops, zoom out too far. If you look at it, it's got support at 75, but it's also got this afternoon support level here at 177. So if it catches a bid there, I want to respect it on advanced micro devices. So Intel's trying to make that bounce here off of the 34 level. If it double taps it, we'll take another shot at that one off the bid. Cost is still going for everyone out there. Yeah, it was probably a clean break at 1120. Could have just had that one. Is what it is. We might have missed our opportunity to get into costs because I don't know that I want to chase this move. $12 could be a breakout, maybe a pullback into 11 if that previous breakout price can be a dip. But Intel got to 34, so we wanted that. Costs off to the races. Maybe it's one of these kinds of days for KOSS. 11% and still climbing to the upside. I thought this might be dead, but apparently not. They got some good news. And good luck to anyone that's in it. I'm not chasing the highs here on cost.
All right. Well, looks like we did it again. Right there, far off the hot dog cannon because Amazon. We just got O's. We got 199.98 right there. So that was a good one. Hopefully it will continue to go. There's Apple. Apple now officially, we can hit the dollar club again, but now you can see it on your level 2 as we are long at 226.90 right there. We've changed our tone a little bit here, obviously, as we were not overly bullish heading into today, and everything we've had is longs. So it's been good. I'm not going to complain about that. I do not have any more offers for Palantir until the high of the day. So that's nice. Let's see if that continues to work. And I do want to punch this long again here on Amazon. I just want to be part of it when this thing rips to 205. So
I still have a 201 order.
Yeah, so do I. I have
no,
a 201's
no, it's no good.
No, it's good. Trust me. This name is going up today. So
no, I know. I'm saying waiting for that is not the right plan. That's all.
Oh yeah. Well,
I didn't mean it wasn't a good.
No, but it might be the right plan. That's what I'm trying to say.
I will take a 201 break.
Yeah.
It's just that I think having a long before that, with this consolidation as tight as it is, there's other longs out there. 200.5 is available. High of the day is available. Sometimes it shows you the level, and then waiting for the ultimate breakout doesn't have to be the play. I still think I'm going to have a 201 break whenever it does happen. It's just a matter of finding a different long as well. We'll see what happens with Amazon, but it just hasn't really broken out yet. You know what did and is still going is Meta. Sometimes you got to shift gears. Like what's actually breaking out? It's up 1%. It's got a bit of a gap from yesterday as well, but it's holding VWAP. We'd like to see a consolidation above VWAP ideally for the continuation. And AMD, the market's pretty strong. If it fails VWAP, I'd look for another trade here. But the market looking awfully strong to want to fade into it, just running into the absolute brick wall here at VWAP the first time. I don't know if it's going to do it a second time. Lid grab under 177 can be a reversal at times. Intel, we'll see if we get a reload off 34 even. It bounced once, got the quarters. If it bounces again, we'll look for a reload here on Intel.
Palantir's starting to cook a little bit here, so we definitely like that one. We can check out some more names. Let's check out some Coinbase action. Amazon not cooking again, but we got some out. Remember, we're gonna try this more at 199 down here, but I'm not buying any more until then. Okay, we are really getting a pop now on NVIDIA and here on Apple. So we are really starting to get some pops going through now. Now $1.20 in the money goes Apple. 20 cents back in the money for Amazon. I'm sitting here at 90s to get some more out. We'll see. There it goes. Yes, sir. Wow. We're making all that money back, by the way, right now on Amazon. So let's see if that continues to work. And here we go. Falling into our lap again here is Intel. I am not, again, this name is not trading the way I thought it would. Obviously, if it gets down into that 33.75 level where we wrote this down, we'll sort of level into it a little bit right now. But I'm just going to take a starter position here on Intel at this level. We're long at 12s. I mean, we do have some more lower bids near 34. But realistically, I kind of like this area right here. 33.90s, 33.80s and change. So maybe if it dips down into that area, we'll buy a little bit more. So we'll bid some lower 34s here on Intel and start the party on that one. As Amazon, yeah, we still like a little bit of a break through this 220 area. I'm just talking about the same names here because it's literally what I'm looking at. And then hold on, Alibaba was another one that we wrote down on the list just for another name if you guys are looking for something else. I still like 73.50, but Alibaba's kind of not doing too much. It had a nice little start to the day. And I'm still looking at all the scanners. That's why I'm coming up here. Do we have a number?
It's Fed speakers today is pretty much what we're concerned about.
Yeah,
and then there's an auction at 1 o'clock as usual. But let's go to the desk. We've got Adara.
No numbers today except for Jerome Powell, who's set to start speaking at 10 a.m. Haven't heard anything yet. I will let you guys know when we get anything here. But let's talk about what's happening so far today. Both the S&P 500 and the Q is continuing to push higher here. NQ slightly outperforming the SPY because we do have a lot of strength in the semiconductor and chip names. Definitely something to watch here for is going to be Fed Chair Powell's Senate testimony. He's also testifying tomorrow morning. So also at 10 a.m. So definitely things to watch out for here. We have also comments from the notoriously hawkish Fed Bowman at 1:30 p.m. So a couple things to watch out for in that regard. In terms of news, we have a couple of these names running here that are a little bit with higher short floats are associated with the meme movement. One of them is Longevron announcing some members of its board of directors getting elected. So LGVN on watch. We also have Novo Nordisk here down about 2%, trying to recover here. A study published here found that its weight loss drug is less effective than Eli Lilly's. Last but not least, we have GLW. This one is courting near highs of day here, second day in a row running to the upside, getting a price target increase today from Morgan Stanley for GLW, guys.
So remember, Powell, when he speaks in front of Congress, you get his actual statement, which is a prepared statement, which is already public. And then that just gets read at the beginning. So anything that's getting said right now from Powell is all stuff that the market could have digested when the speech, it's not really speech, where the statement was released earlier today. So just be careful here. Palantir, it looks to me like yesterday's high, right in here, that 28, it just did a lit grab underneath of 3 cents. No, check that. It was 1 or 2 cents. If it can't hold this 28 level, it might just have to wait for 27.60. I'm only going to give it to 95s in here. If it can't hold 95s, this could be a done stock, at least until it gets down to another support level. AMD, no reload at VWAP on AMD, which is still a NASDAQ stock. It doesn't really get there. It gets to 177.75 and rolling back under. So as long as it's fail break at 180, I want to favor the short side of the trade here on AMD. Down 1%, market's up. NVIDIA's up. All the chip names are up, I think, except for AMD and Intel, obviously Intel as well. So both these stocks are in a bit of a pullback. I think you got to look for the short in those two, while the others still look pretty strong to me.
Okay. Yeah, let's just, I don't know. We'll just talk. All right, so Amazon there, we took it another trade. That's another 30-cent winner there for Amazon. We took it out at $200 again. We're long at 199.70 here on Amazon. So there it is. We took that first break. We talked about not using many shares, which was good for that. And we won't use too many, but we'll use some here on this break as it's trying to get going right now. That is Amazon. And man, we're, decent sized position now on Intel. We'll see if that wants to go upside. We are waiting to get more shares, obviously, as we pull back down for that. Apple is right now. Let's just go like this for Travolta. Let's just go page one. Let's just go diamond hands. Let's just go this. And then let's drop some money down because right now, Apple is now $1.50 in the money. Okay, so here we go. We're going to watch out for Amazon. There's the break. Will it continue, though? I don't know, but Amazon right now trying to go higher. We did take that break longer. It looks like we're selling again up here at 26. You see what I'm saying? So there is sellers up here, and it looks like they're going to use reserve size. So it can't break through 26, like as if that's some kind of a random price right there. So let's wait to see what happens now. Thank you, Rob. With Amazon. trying to break a little bit higher. So we might have been caught again in the cipher that is Amazon as it continues to sort of troll around here and troll us for sure, trying to get me to punch long all the time. We'll take a little piece out there as it doesn't work, but hey, we're still in the pocket here. Let's see if it holds out right now. Nice move. This might sell off.
Yeah, this 200.
Yeah, I'm going to get out of a little bit more right here on Amazon. The 200 break was good, but then again, it just goes to that high again right now. So look at that. Here's the move back in. So we're taking some out.
Yeah, if it doesn't hold 200, VWAP might be the play here. So Amazon, I elected not to wait for 201. I'll still have 201 if it happens, but Amazon's not going to hold that local high break. VWAP still could be in play. It's still a relatively strong stock as far as I'm concerned. Intel's back at the 34 level, but you already mentioned that one, so no need to go over it. I think as the market's retesting those highs, I come back to, can AMD, if it makes another lower high here and the market doesn't break a high, I think this one should be the short, at least for myself. And at VWAP, it just cannot seem to get there. So if we can't get it, we can't get it. But you got to take the trade that's out in front of you. The lower high is at 177.80, and it's held this for like 5 minutes while I'm waiting in here for VWAP. If Intel gets back into the teens and 20s, you're going to be taking some out. You want to make sure you're scalping off a level. There wasn't a ton of size at 34, but it held the 34 level, going a bit of a up-down play there on Intel, I should say. But AMD, with the market coming right back underneath, I might just have to take this local high, 177.80. You get the short pop that you get. You know, we like VWAP. It's a great line on a chart. Sometimes you get the fill pretty much exactly at VWAP. Other times you got to hunt for a different price and a different entry point. The only thing we are short and looking to get back into, we're short and trying to get back into is advanced micro devices. Maybe it should have been Intel. We'll find out if it can hold this 34.
All right. Okay. So we just got a decent price for Amazon as we're trying to do our best here and manage this position as it just continues to sort of dance around us here again. We did buy some of those dips right there. So let's just try to exit out now we just tried to punch those 10s and missed it. Might have just cascaded a little bit there. Okay, now it's coming back in there for Amazon. Look at the futures. We did have a bump up there, and now the futures are saying no for that trade on Amazon as here it comes. Pulling, wow, okay, well now the futures, what?
Whoa, now we're accelerating.
All right, now we're getting, see, now you don't want to be caught long, which we are here on that break, but that's okay. Let's get a couple other pieces out if we can and on Amazon and see if it wants to work, but we'll try to get some 99s. We are long at 87 now, but we've lost on this trade. We did punch higher, obviously, and then we just got an 87. We just got a bid there at VWAP. What was that, 83s or 84s? This average price, but it's still not a great trade. And we are getting ready to get longer on Intel right now, but the market's coming way in. I don't know if it's Apple or what's going on right now, but there goes Amazon. We do get that 200 level. So let's see if we get something else upside now into 210. But Intel's really getting clocked right now back downside.
I don't know if we're going back to it there, but 132 is pulling back on NVIDIA. AMD, there was no chance to get off that lower high. As you heard what Sean was saying, the market absolutely caught another gear to the downside, so there was no chance to get that short. The second we could put the offer in, it was falling. But NVIDIA, if we get VWAP, different trade. 132 coming back in here, we'll go for the dip buy. Palantir's holding 28 nicely, but Intel lost that 34 level, so we had to dump out. We waited for it, but it was still a fail at 34. That was the only level that we liked for a dip buy. It got there once. The second time, fail through. We got to be patient, look for another entry point. Buying dips on the strong names makes a heck of a lot of sense here, so NVIDIA will go for, and AMD will just look for a different entry price. If we come back, we just wick the bottom, don't want to just blindly short the same price. We'll let it do another consolidation to try to join the trend back into the downside here on AMD. So Powell is talking, but keep in mind, this is prepared comments, and then he's just in front of Senate. Some of the times, he's saying a lot of things which aren't going to be relevant when he's in front of those guys. That's just being candid. Let's go to Adara.
Just an update on what's going on in the Senate testimony. Fed Chair Powell has not said anything yet. We had the release of the prepared marks, but the Q&A has not begun. We just have the Chairman Brown of the Senate committee making opening statements talking about corporate greed and some of the things that are ailing the American economy. So I will let you guys know once we get any comments, just an update as to what's going on here with that meeting. We have not had any Q&A happen yet, guys.
dollar club in 1 minute on Tesla. So, I mean, Tesla just falls right in there into VWAP. We sat there, took it, boom, to the upside. So we are cooking right now with Tesla. We did not expect that to fall in. I looked over and was like, huh? Why is net there? And then it just started to go to the upside. And of course, as we talked about with Powell speaking, probably a wise move to start to get some of these out right there. We are now out of 50% of this trade as this came in and was not expecting this move at all for Tesla. So let's make sure that we do. I'm going to take out another piece right now as well, back to 255 as we're starting to fade out a little bit there on Tesla. But again, we wanted to trade the strong names. So we do sit at VWAP and take the strong names. I mean, that's what we're going to do over and over and over again. Amazon, I don't know if this name wants to go, so I have just been getting out of it right there. This is be my only red stock today, will be Amazon. So it hasn't been the easiest day around here, but it's been pretty good, man. I mean, we like I said, one red name. We will not go red, obviously, on Palantir, but we are waiting, not go red on Palantir, come on. Something disastrous with that. Does have to fall $4 or something. Here we go. Let's see if it continues to make the move to the upside. There's another out for us on Tesla. So it's a good one, man. And here goes Amazon again. I'm going to take another piece out upside. I say again, but it just keeps on getting hit, man. Yeah, Obi, I think we're right about this one, man. This Amazon does not want to go at all today. So we'll just keep taking it out, like I'm saying. So we actually got a 17 fill there. That was our best out on that last little rip upside. We're trying to be patient with Intel. We just got another fill, but here it comes, man. Another 10 cents or so on Intel. We'll get out of that one, and then we'll have two red names today. But this was the level that we wanted. We wrote it down here, 33.75. So it looks down, 33.75. The problem is I'm long at 90. So we'll wait to see what happens here, as this is kind of a level that we thought would hold, and it doesn't look like it wants to. So 33.75, we're going to take a hit. If it breaks through 70, we're going to get out of this one and just chalk it up to an L, but still remain well positive, and one of the best mornings I've had in a while. As Apple's now $2, Tesla's now, come on, let's go. Tesla right now printing. We'll take another piece out there at 60, as there it goes. $1 Tesla, $2 Apple, 30 cents Amazon. Palantir is my biggest stock, and we wait to see what the damage is going to be done here.
It's getting back to VWAP.
Intel.
So Palantir holds 28. It holds yesterday's high. 27.98 was that, but the 95 level was kind of like the key. It just bounced off 95, back above 28 even. So I think VWAP next. It's still got lower highs, so want to respect that if it gets to the top end of the channel. NVIDIA just broke the heck out again, because NVIDIA is super strong. That does lead AMD right back into VWAP, so this would be the spot. If it curls here VWAP, we're still going to look for the short, but it has to show you weakness. It's one thing to just sit out in front of it, but let's let it get to the level like last time, wick VWAP there, and then get it on the way back down. So it's at 178. If there is a failure underneath, that's where I would look for the short, as NVIDIA will just cancel the dip buy on NVIDIA because we're not going to get 132 even. That's absolutely flying. And Bitcoin is making a bit of a run.
Yeah.
The only name we were looking at was Mara at 19 even. I think we might have shot for the wrong spot at exactly 19. Yesterday's low has now double bottomed on Mara. So I like 19 even, but it looks like the yesterday's bottom is the one. 19.20, there's 19.20 on a 15, 19.20 twice here on MARA. I think that's the level. If we can get it down there one more time, if we're lucky. But I was waiting for 19 even, so we did miss that trade, unfortunately. Sometimes you like that price and it gets there. Other times you like it and it does not. Palantir now getting to VWAP, but if you draw the trend line, this is the spot right here. This is the trend top. We're going to take some out at trend high. If it breaks it out, look for a long over VWAP next on PLTR. Continuation play from it was kind of a breakout yesterday, but it's a continuation play nonetheless.
Guys, Tesla's $3 in the money, and we just put this trade on. So right there, thank you, Patrick. Right there, back into VWAP again. $3 now as it continues to climb, right? That's going to be a good trade there. We're still in this name, man. There goes Intel. We talked about having a negative name on Intel. Nah, we'll wait to see what happens on this one now, as we just got some out there at 90. See if it wants to continue to climb higher. Amazon, yeah, okay. You were pretty funny there, Amazon. Look what I did. There's the move. We just got $200.39 there as a fill on Amazon. So Oh man, what's up, Rivian Millionaire? What's up to Daryl Flinch? Everybody that's watching here again today. It's another one for you, and I hope that you're having a great time. Look at this Palantir. You know, again, buy the dips, boom. Buy the dip, boom. It's just things are working out, man. Intel, trust yourself, man. Trust the levels. This is, I mean, again, if you guys are Sticky No Nation, great. You know, you follow whatever levels you guys want to look at. But for me, there's Intel right there. Long if 33.75. I mean, we wrote that down at 8 o'clock, right on the sticky note. It's right here. Intel 33.75. Overcooked. Intel's red. I mean, talk about. We came in today. I heard everybody in the back say Intel again, Intel again. I was like, you know what? I think it's a little overcooked there, and that's exactly what happened. And look what happened. Look where the bottom is there today. So we picked the bottom by 3 cents on Intel as it drops in down there from $1.50 down right into our level. So let's just reward ourselves now and get out and just be like, okay, we'll take that one as a positive trade. Intel there today. We'll have to watch out for, again, the biggest P&L name for me will be Palantir, because we talked about just absolutely smashing that right there, and that's what we did. And then we were able to reload it now, and now it's even looking better for this long. As we said, we weren't going to get anything out till high of day, but then we were able to get reloaded down there. So let's start taking more and more pieces out. But hey, man, trading not for the weak of heart, that's for sure. You got to have sort of that confidence in your trading. We are almost too overly confident in Amazon. I'll have to admit that. We almost got slipped up on that. This will be my reddest name today, and the only name that we are red. So it's a good one, but we almost got caught here on Amazon. So lucky enough that it came back up there during this bump, and lucky enough to get that huge fill. So I don't know. I say the word lucky, but I really do consider that to be the case. But, you know, luck, it can't be luck when it's kind of happening all the time, and it's because you stick to your plans. And I mean, if you trade without a plan, you're completely lost, right? And I mean, I think that that's something that we all try to sort of preach in here to everybody is have a plan, execute it, and be rewarded, because that's just, there's Tesla, right? There's the plan, drop into VWAP. So that happened, plan executed, winning trade. So there it goes, man. Now Tesla's starting to bump even higher. Apple now, by the way, is $2 in the money, AAPL. So yeah. Great day over here. Shout out to everybody in Greensville. This Apple is green today.
Apple is a strong one. It just continues to break it out. It's a great dip buy. I love that trade. Sometimes you have a plan, but you see something and you make an adjustment. So I just got out of AMD. It's going to continue to fall, obviously, here. And sometimes you get tricked by something you see on the tape. I got no qualms admitting it. Qualms admitting it. I looked over at AMD. We got that VWAP trade pretty much exactly like the last time. It bounced off 177.50 once. I got the fill. It came to 177.5 again. I saw someone light up the bid. It looked like a bit of a reversal, is what it is. I jammed out of the trade. It looks like it's continuing to head into the downside. So AMD is relatively weak. It's still one that I should be going back over to. But yeah, sometimes you get fooled by size. It wasn't really size in the bid so much as it was like pattern buying off the 177.50. It did hold once. It's no longer holding. Palantir, which we're still in, I had my trend line nice and drawn. I can just kind of look at it. It broke out that trend. So I'm looking at the other side here. So you had the lower highs. It held the 28 level. Now if you can hold the other side of that morning trend line, it would be a dip buy off of VWAP for a potential run back into, I mean, just highs, like this, whatever, all-time highs, right? Not all-time highs, 52-week highs, which is whatever the top is today. It just happens to be $28.40. There's no significance to that price, but it has to hold on. Right now, you're testing the bottom end of that trend. I want to see it hold above, and then we can work back into it. I don't want to ignore costs, but I said I wasn't going to chase it. It doesn't pull the VWAP, but it did this lit grab underneath 12, and then look at the consolidation off $12 here. I think there's a chance, if it's just going to hold 12 even, give it like an 11.95 stop and not wait for VWAP here. VWAP's a nice line on the chart, but you know what? If a stock trends up without ever getting to VWAP, it means it's pretty strong. So sometimes you got to try to find some other entry. Cost we didn't want to chase, but actual news today on this thing. That isn't just a rumor about Roaring Kitty.
Yeah.
Not that rumors are bad or anything, but like the stock went up the last time because someone looked at an old Roaring Kitty tweet from months before. You know, and it can squeeze for a lot of, you know, illegitimate reasons. But if you've got news day of and a stock is squeezing, I don't mind finding something. And if we can risk 25, 30 cents and cost can break 13, that would be fantastic, but it's got to get there.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, it's everything. We saw BlackBerry on earnings had a couple different moves and stuff like that.
BlackBerry sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. You're right. Okay, so we'll just continue to watch out for more plays, though, right? I mean, there's always going to be more plays here. So, all right, there goes Tesla. I mean, Tesla right now is $4 in the money. As that continues to go higher, obviously, wish we had never got out of any of the thing there, but there it goes, 258. This is where we were yesterday. So again, a good trade off of VWAP. We're pretty proud of it, obviously, as it's working out for us right now. It's almost embarrassing but Tesla's almost going to take out Palantir for the highest trade for me of the day net-wise. And I'm so glad to be saying that because I was super, super happy with Palantir. And look at, wow, I'm so much out of Palantir, I didn't even realize where this name is right now. But there goes Palantir again, as it looks like it wants to continue its move to the upside and then get faded right back in to this level one more time. So again, you know, able to get out of this pretty. I said luck again, but, you know, pretty lucky. Honestly, there we go. We'll take some 96s. We're getting out. I just want to make sure that my out is there. Yeah, breakthrough 90. So we're pretty lucky that this move happened. Like we put on, you know, so hopefully there, if that fell through, then what a different day it is here for me. So, so far so good, but there goes Palantir, there it goes, breakthrough. So a little bit of a reload right there out of Palantir. We'll slap, I mean, definitely not slapping a fail on Palantir today. It was a monster. But at the end of the day, that last reload right there was a fail. So we'll give back about 5% of our net on Palantir on that move and obviously still stay positive. And then, by the way, let's go again here on Intel. We'll see if we can get some 95s here as it continues to go up. We are now 20 cents in the money right now for Intel off of that low pick again. So let's see if Intel continues to work, man. What a day it's been. It's back-to-back jacks for the note of sticky over to Adara.
Couple other things to note before we look at the small caps. We do have Fed Chair Powell's currently speaking on the testimony. We're just waiting for that Q&A at the Senate hearings. Just be aware of that. Also worth noting, Bitcoin getting a little bit of a volume pop there, so be aware of BTC. In terms of small caps, we have IWM basically the low of day here, down about 0.5% right now. Continuing to make lower highs and lower lows to the downside for the Russell 2000. Lots of small cap gappers to talk about today, including Sologenics, NGX, this one up over 200%. Now seeing some results for its high-bright treatment in early stage patients. So interesting to look here for SNGX. We also have JMIA. This one falling down a little bit here, but still up more than 20%. This one has run in the past. Currently running after getting a buy rating and a $14 price target from Benchmark. Last but not least, we have KOSS. This one also took a bit of a fall, but currently still up more than 20%, getting a patent for personal acoustic systems and flexible earpiece mounts. We also have LGVN. This is another, Longeveron, this is another one that will tend to run with those heavily shorted or meme stocks. So keep an eye on KOSS and LGVN, guys.
Yeah, KOSS is making another dip into what's an obvious trend if you want to put it in here. I'll show you on the 3-minute because that's where the trend is. I want to show the 15 a second ago, but who cares? Higher lows on KOSS. It's very, very steep. If it holds on at 12, I think a run at 13 is obvious. But if it breaks this trend line, I think you could see VWAP. So we're in it. We scout some out to 1250, and I want to look for a bounce off this same area, which we can play into 13. If it does not bounce, play back into VWAP is going to make a lot of sense. I've seen a lot of people, and shout out to everyone in the chat, a lot of people are putting in Tilray like it's doing something. So just an idea, Tilray's up 5%. That's not a monster move, but it's not at an insignificant price level. It's about to take out the 50 period on the daily and making a hunt at $1.90. So this has some scalp potential here on Tilray. So 185 would be that 50 period that it's trying to push through now. Just look at the last couple of sessions though. Big move at the open to be faded, big move at the open to be faded. So I don't necessarily like it because the pattern has been get to that early morning top and then just simply pull back, unfortunately, for Tilray. NVIDIA, we still want to find the next long opportunity In NVIDIA, there was that last pullback that was super fast into 132. Now you're getting one into 133. So sometimes it's even dollars, and you just take your shot at it. It just wicked underneath 133. It did a similar thing at 32 and held. This one got to 132.85 or so. So we'll give it to the local bottom on NVIDIA, just this and cost for now, as AMD doesn't even want VWAP anymore. We've got to find that short. We got kind of tricked by the book. Someone flashing that they were an intent buyer that was not so intent when it double topped that level at 177.5. AMD back into the low of the day.
I feel like the last couple of days, man, we've been like the Intel whisperer around here. Intel going to be one of the top names for me for a minute here. As there it goes again, back upside. I just tried to get some 03s there. We nailed that bottom yesterday on Intel. We'll see if we can get it out there. I'll take some 99s right there. I'll cancel our 03s now. Just grab the 99s. We're in the money now, 20 cents off that posted bottom again of 33.75. I cannot believe that came through. All right, look, what just happened there to Amazon? Okay, so we just got that piece out on Amazon at $200.03, and then it just dipped in again, and we just got longer downside. So let me just put some offers out here as it's starting to pop upside a little bit now. Get some of this out on this pop. Amazon really, really weak on any kind of movements downside. So like I said, this is going to be the only red name today, and it looks like it's about to get redder as we take out 70s. But we just got some out, so we're all pretty good now as we're long at 80, looking to get it out if it breaks 5 more cents lower. There it goes, Amazon. So okay. All right, we'll tap out of that one as it is moving lower, lower, lower. Here comes Tesla. We're going to get out of this. If it was going to break 257, I thought about getting out, and here it comes, pulling back in. Look, still a big stock. I was going to look at this level. Look at the market. Like, I mean,
the market just did a U-turn.
Yeah, exactly. The market turning on its head right now, as is Apple a little bit.
Even cost.
Yeah, we're still 250 in the money on Apple. I mean, let's not sit here and complain about it. Sharif, come on, don't, you know. The professor, I'm back. We're $2 in the money on Tesla. We were $4 in the money on Tesla. The professor looking at me like I was a failing student over here. Shout out to the professor getting ready for it. What are you guys doing today? More Elliott?
Elliott wave.
More waves of Elliott coming through for you guys at 11 o'clock with Adara and Sharif. So check it out, yo, on that one. And yeah, I may be buying said dips here on Tesla. We are coming back into 255 again, so let's try it. This is a big move. Something must be hitting now and that I don't hear about, but it's a nice move to the downside.
It could always be. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a statement from Powell, but who knows if he's actually started answering any questions yet. I have heard absolutely nothing outside of the fact that he had the statement released. But everything just came back in pretty heavily. Yeah. VWAP's coming into NVIDIA. Cost is not at VWAP, but it did not hold on to the 12 level, so I jammed out. We'll wait for 1150. I still think this has a chance to go. It might not care what the market does, but it certainly did a second ago when everything else dumped back in. Adara, what do you have for us?
Jerome Powell finished his prepared comments. He's just answering the first series of questions here. So just an update on that Senate Banking Committee testimony, guys.
He just finished his testimony. That would make sense a little bit. Okay, so, you know, damage done because we were longer Tesla up here. So we didn't really lose anything on any of these plays, right? It was just more of the fact that we didn't cash out everything at the top. We are still holding 10% of this trade. So we're going to get back in a little bit here at Tesla. I'm just putting on 10 more percent. So I'm not even really averaging into this trade too much. Just trying to put a little bit more on so I don't look like a moron. But right here, Intel down to 33.90 again. We just talked about clocking all those out. We only have now about 15% or so of this trade. As there it goes, man. Tesla, like, put it back on the damn board again, man. Like, we just went long at 255.80 there. So now it's in the money, another 50 cents. Let's see if it comes back up to the upside there. Again, Palantir, this is why you get out of the way. Like, this could have been a disaster of a trade. But look at Palantir falling all the way back down, and we got out. That's why you get out. It broke the 200 period. We gone on that one, so we do not have to worry about Sir Palantir. As Alex Karp, you got some questions to answer here because it's moving to the downside right now. And of course, he doesn't care about the current stock price. All right, Palantir possible buy in and around 27.25. Let's try it. I'm going to put a bid there in case This is not as broken as I think, but it is a nice move downside here for PLTR. Let's try it, 27 and a quarter coming into play, and I'll just show you why right into yesterday's sort of bottom right there, 27 and a quarter. Let's see if we can hold this level. It's coming in right now. Palantir, the whole market's fallen off a bit.
The market just wicked the bottom and held, though. So I actually kind of like what I saw there. Unfortunately, cost did not hold on. You're going to see it lose the $12 level again. It wicked it once. It just wicked it twice. It tried to hold on to some strength, 14% to the upside, but getting a little bit top heavy on cost. Mara is making a move back up. It held 19.20. We shifted gears from 19 even to the double bottom at $19.20, which is now, I guess, technically a triple bottom on the daily chart. It was support before. We'll see if it can hold on. I'm bidding the 30s. We'd like to be able to grab that. And then NVIDIA, it bounced nicely off 132. Had it for a hot minute. I flatted the trade because I had a stop order already out, unfortunately, which meant when I got in, essentially it punched right out, thinking that it was already past the stop, but it's right back into VWAP. This is a pretty big trend line here for NVIDIA. Holding on to VWAP a couple of times. If it's going to bounce, it could be strong, but look at that big move into the downside. And AMD's about to break the low again. Short the pops on AMD. Every single pop, at least for now, as we go to the crypto update with Adara.
One quick update as well from Fed Chair Powell, saying in an answer to a question from Senator Reid that there is some signs of labor market cooling. So just an update there. In terms of crypto itself, some nice inflows coming in on Monday, nearly $300 million worth of inflows for the Bitcoin ETFs after that weakness we had last week. Also worth noting, IBIT, so that is going to be the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF, taking on about $180 million worth of inflows. So good luck for these ETFs, especially IBIT. In terms of Bitcoin itself here, we did get a little bit of a volume pop here, still trying to climb back up within this 58,000 to 55,000 range on BTC in the daily chart. Worth noting as well, we are seeing a little bit of support and resistance here, flipping at the 58,000 level in the daily chart. So we'll have to see if we can climb above this level. Right now, BTC around that 57.5 level, up about 3% in the day. Ethereum very strong here, up about 3 2/3%, hanging on to that 3,000 level. A lot of strength in general in these crypto names. We have BNB and Solana both up about 3%, Cardano up about 2%, Tron up about 3%, Avalanche a little bit weaker here, down about 2%. But generally, these crypto-related names pretty strong on the day, guys.
All right, Yellen's talking now.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of stuff happening right now. So thanks, Adara, for all of that.
Yellen.
Crypto moving around. Yeah, 50. I mean, not moving. I mean, Adara just talked about it, but still 3,000 still intact there. We haven't even looked at ETHE yet today. So we'll wait to see if there's any kind of movement in this one. All right, so we're right at VWAP right now again for Tesla. So I'm going to give this one $1. I mean, we had $3 or $4 in the money on it. We'll give it back, right? I mean, if it breaks lower, then we'll wind up losing on this trade. But I do not want to fall on the knife, right? And so I'm not just going to keep building those flowers all the way to the downside. We'll try another bid down here at 254.50 just to see if that holds. We're long at 255.40. You can see that at the bottom right now. Tesla pulling back in, still up that 1% on a market that's giving it up, man. We talked about that today. And again, I don't know what Powell's going to say or Yellen's going to say, but I was saying that I thought the market was weaker. I mean, we said that all morning long into that. We should have just shorted up here as much as we possibly can. But again, as the Fed continues to speak, that's going to continue to weigh on the market. So let's just hope that Tesla can get back going to the upside here as we continue to hold on to that long. Intel, again, we got out of that. I'm going to stay pretty much flat on Intel now. We'll still hold a piece if it gets back to 34. Then we'll get another piece out on that one. But I don't know. It's been a pretty choppy day around here. Just a few traders positive, but it's been a good day, right? I mean, it's just you had to have your opportunities. Right names, right stocks. We're lucky enough just to have the one red name today with Amazon, but Amazon's been real tricky as well. So I feel real lucky to have gotten out of Palantir where we did and have that be such an epic day there for me. But that was a huge move down. You could definitely get caught. If we've learned anything today, that is trade, and there goes Tesla. We just took that out up there at that just went to 255.90 there on Tesla. So that was a big win for us up to the upside there for Tesla. We're now long at 255.58 in the money again for TSLA.
Yeah, you're running into trouble here at VWAP on a few things. AMD, sorry, check that. NVIDIA just tested that 32. This is like this put up or shut up. Like it's scalped off that level, but it has to go here. I think with a candle down like you just saw on NVIDIA, if this isn't the hold at 132, then you could be all the way back into 130.5 as well. Crypto did make that pullback. Mara with a higher low at 1935. It's into VWAP as we speak, so I'm going to play out in front of VWAP. And if this is a double bottom that holds a higher low over VWAP, I think this can be a long above VWAP as well. When you hold a support level like this is on the daily, sometimes Mara will do this. Like you see these bottoms in here, and it'll just sort of trend and then fade off of VWAP. Sometimes it'll trend and then break it out. So what it did the last time was the first time it kind of just danced about that, giving you 30, 40, 50 cents, but it has made dollar moves as well. So if it's able to hold above yesterday's close, I would look for some additional longs there. Mara didn't get 19. It had to bounce off 1921st. NVIDIA, love to see this get back into the 133 level. It's not a blue sky setup, but it is filling in some of this gap into the 133. So 133, I think that's a good target here for NVDA, but the market's holding some of these lows. So far, so good for NVIDIA off of VWAP.
I laugh, I kid, I laugh, I kid, I cry.
Oh my God.
$1 again on Tesla. I mean, we just talked about buying 255s over and over again. So there it goes. Nice move back up to the upside. Like, I don't know. We're going to see if we can hold on to this. Look at Intel. We talked about the Intel whisperer. Here it is, man. We said we're going to wait for $34. It just came back up to $34 again right there right now. So, I mean, let's just keep on trading, man. I mean, everything's working out for us so far here today. Good day there. I still think Tesla could go. Let's get the Fed speak and all this stuff past us, right? I mean, if that can happen, why not get back to 257 at least, right? I mean, that's 257, 258. I mean, this is what we've been doing here on Tesla. No outs. We, instead of getting scared of the name, we just stuck with it. You know, it came right back in. We liked it. Come back in. That's what we want. Came back. We don't have even the best price. We should have had 255. Actually, it's not a good price at all. 255.50. I mean, it is. It's $1 in the money. But I'm just saying like that. Oh, now I hear myself again. That is fine. 255.10 right there would have been the best price, and we could have got it. So not super happy with the execution there, but we are good to go with that one. And then there goes Intel again. Let's spin it. It really, there we go. It's better. It really makes me happy when these levels fill and hold. Again, you know, have your plan, execute your plan. You can get my plan free every single day here, and it's been working out. So I like it. But then we've had a lot of big trades intraday that we never really thought about doing. That's not on the sticky note, and that was looking at day 2, day 3 plays, right? Yesterday, Tesla was my P&L number 1. Today, Tesla could be, looks like it'll be P&L number 1 again here today. So go back to the well. We didn't do very well on getting out of Apple up there at 229 and change. This day was pulling back to VWAP. This could be a good reload location as well. I just want to see Tesla work because we do have a bigger position on in Tesla right now than Apple. So I'm going to focus on this, see if this one wants to work back up to the upside, put an offer in and around 257. When and if that fills, then we'll really be cooking. So 256, like 85 or so. Let's put an offer up there for Tesla, $1 higher than where we are right now, and see if the market can climb to VWAP. Still like the name. It's up 1%. It's going to be a good one there. I keep looking down at crypto. Like every time I look down here, Ethereum still 3,080. So ETHE, you know, not doing too much there. So shout out to Jeff Mendel and everybody else. Yeah, it's not doing that much at OTC Markets. He should be sending us a gift basket.
A gift basket?
Yeah. I don't know that. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out in the universe. You know, because I was thinking about it.
No,
I was about to say,
I thought you meant he said he was sending one. Like,
I'm going to message him now and say that I said that on the air for sure. But what I'm going to do is, because I was looking for my Yeti, but I remember I don't bring, we have the waters. I don't have my Yeti here. I don't bring coffee into work anymore. I just drink one when I get here. So the Yeti's at home reserved for trips. And then I remember that he was like, oh, my bad, we don't have anything cool. We only have a Yeti. And then the one time he came down, he brought an umbrella.
I have one beef with the Yeti. I now have 3 Yetis, but so this is kind of messed up, and maybe it's an Audi thing, but the Yetis, none of them fit in the cup holder in the Audi. And it's like two of them will fit in the cup holder in my Grand Cherokee.
Mine fits.
But it's weird. Like, I don't know, that's maybe an Audi thing. We just need a little bit of a bigger cup holder. I know you can get the ones that sit in the cup holder that are bigger, but it's like, why should I have to do that? I'm cheap. But I love the Yeti. I just added a couple because I like to have a small Traveler and then a big Traveler. And they're fantastic products, but shout out to Yeti. But 133 happened on NVIDIA, and we said a second ago 133 would be the target on the VWAP bounce. It just tagged 132.90 and then pulled right back into the 50, so VWAP looks pretty good here. Trend continuation on NVDA. It is a super strong stock, up 3.5%, but what is not as strong is, no 77 here on AMD. AMD popping into the opening range bottom, 176.5. I keep looking at VWAP and saying only VWAP, only VWAP, but 176.5, opening range bottom. If it fails here, I'd look for another short. This is the weak stock. Sorry, this is the weak chip name, I should say, down 1%. Well, NVIDIA is like a buy the dip. This one looks like a short the pop situation, at least until it ain't.
All right, I'm going to tweet this one out again because we already tweeted out our first play here on Tesla. And right now, okay, we got in front of everybody, we got. I mean, we talked about this trade, man, and there it is. We just took that out at 50 or 60s, was it? It just ripped up, and I'm like 56s. I'm like, I'm not waiting for 80. I was at 80. And again, you guys know that I chase P&L a little bit too much probably. But there it goes. It just ripped up, and I was like, I'm not, for 20 cents extra, I'll give it up. But there it goes. Nice move back in. We're now $1.10 in the money here on Tesla. Buy the strength, buy the strength, buy the strength. And that's what we did there. And we, our biggest trades today, Palantir, Tesla, and Apple. So good trading here on some of these names, and just really excited for the last couple of days. We've come back energized, and then just really put on, really put on. So so far so good there. You refresh it, and I was just like, what am I doing here? Just sitting here trading. Up the shares. You get the wins. You're confident. You have the plays. So let's go. Let's rock and roll, right? And so right now we are doing exactly that, and hopefully putting up some numbers for you guys as well, and just looking at some of the trades that we're making and just understanding the methodologies here. And again, of course, you guys can ask us about any of the positions that we've been in here and what's been happening so far today. Intel, again, we've already messaged and mentioned, about what the plan of action was, back to 34 on this dip. So we're pretty happy getting some out. We're now holding about 10% of everything left. A little bit more on Tesla. We have about 30% left on Tesla, as that is now $1.50 in the money on a reload. Man, we cooking over here. Let's go find out what Adair is doing at the desk. It's 10:40.
S&P 500 slightly positive, but mostly a little bit mixed, and we're certainly seeing that reflected here on the sector board. We do talk about electronic technology, with which technology services, with the exception of Google, Meta, and Netflix, pretty weak across the board, especially some of these tech names like CRM and Adobe, notably to the downside, as is Microsoft. In terms of electronic technology, we have some strength in these chip names, most notably here NVIDIA and Micron. AMD a little bit weaker, getting a price target decrease in KeyBank, while NVIDIA got a price target increase. A lot of the rest of these sectors are going to be pretty mixed here. Finance mixed, health technology mixed, though. Eli Lilly to the upside after a study found that its weight loss drug is more effective than Novo Nordisk's. We have a little bit more mixed sentiment here as well in producer manufacturing, consumer services, and retail trade. These two retailers here, Walmart and Costco, both notably strong. A little bit more mixed, though, in utilities, energy, minerals, consumer non-durables, health services, and communications. Some weakness in process industries and commercial services, as well as transportation. So definitely seeing some divergence between the sectors here so far today.
My God, guys, what the hell is going on with Tesla right now? Boom, boom, boom. $3 in the money as it just ripped up oh my, we just tweeted that out, all about Tesla there. Look at that reload, like as if this is happening right now. Good move up there for Tesla. We might just see a huge, wow. Oh, Neil, you better take it over, man. I might need a defibrillator around here.
A defib, the old defib action.
Get me that damn defib right now. We're just cooking, man. We're cooking like that Tesla trade. Like we put on Palantir, and I was like, these guys, everybody knows, everybody obviously. But the thing about it is, we're now we took sort of that and rolled it forward, and we started to put on more risk because of some of the trades that we had earlier. And so this is something, again, new that I'm trying to do. And that is that understand, where you're coming from, and then put on some more shares and just try to make something happen. Have confidence in the positions that you're trying to roll through. I mean, Intel, Tesla today, Apple today, right? Getting away from Amazon, regardless of what Amazon does. I'm completely happy with the loss that we have on that. And then really go for it on Palantir. I tell my kids, be bold, be brave, go for things that you believe in and stand by stuff that you say, and, be honest and have integrity and things like that. So that's exactly I'm trying to do that with trading. And hopefully you guys can see all this. And we're really, really happy with what's been happening now for our trading. And I think it just goes by having those good vibes and just doing what we believe is right as far as making the trades and then having the confidence on those positions. So, all right, I'm just going to punch them out there on Intel at 08s. I got 08s and 09s there. And then we'll just try to close this up. Again, Apple, Amazon, Intel, Palantir, and Tesla, man. It's just murderer's row right here, and we're pretty happy with today's trading.
Yeah, definitely going to be happy with it. But watch this wall. They're chewing up size on NVIDIA. Do not just ignore size on the offer is my advice to anybody if you're looking to short this name. You see hundreds of thousands of shares at every single even dollar. They're filling it instantly. And I'm not saying go into a breakout trade, but obviously this is still trending to the upside. I dipped out 133 looking for a VWAP retest. You're not even going to get it here, but just look for the next pullback. It's already done 2 gigantic pullbacks into VWAP, but they've been slippery slopes. Like it's broken, held back above, it's broken, held back above. So I just want to see the same thing happen again. The next time we get a dip here on trend with NVIDIA, look for that pullback, jump back into the trade, and then find that top. It is absolutely, like I said, it's absolutely flying. We're still not seeing exactly what we want with Mara. Like Mara, the next step would have been buy the higher low, hold VWAP, $19.50. That's the part of the equation that just hasn't happened yet for Mara. So I don't see a reload here at 35 even. I wanted to see this breakout off of VWAP. Don't want to draw a line in there. And then we'll look for an entry. I want to see more strength. Bitcoin's not really doing a heck of a lot of anything. If you look at what's going on here with BTC, it's trying to hold a higher low, but it's not breaking out. This is a 3-minute chart on Bitcoin. It's not really breaking back out. So as long as it's in dip territory and not breakout territory, got to be patient with what we try to do over there in Mara. I feel like NVIDIA should be the next game plan for a long, just given this is a stock we like. Blue sky setup here for NVIDIA. Maybe it's VWAP. Maybe it's a consolidation after a fail break of the high of the day. We'll just look for it to stay on trend. And I'll redraw this trend line because I didn't hit save on it. But all it has to do is hold either the trend line or VWAP, and we'll dip right back into that name. AMD does not work the third time. We go 1 for 3 on AMD. VWAP has been the trade 2 times, but we took a shot at something a little bit different, which was underneath the opening range bottom. So the opening range low was 176.5. If we're staying on trend, I just want to look for places to join the trend. Fail break at 180. The plan of action on AMD was simple. If it failed broke 180, look short. It failed broke 180, so we're looking short on this stock. It's down 1%, but most of the market is looking pretty decent right now. Manu in the chat just said, any thoughts on MCD for a swing trade? I'm not I'm not big on McDonald's per se as a trading vehicle. Like I've never swung it. I was actually looking at Kava for some kind of pullbacks, but it is at put up or shut up time for this thing on the dailies. I think you already mentioned in the pre-market show.
Today.
Yeah, but it's right now you have a potential liquidity grab underneath that bottom at 246.
Man,
it's just not really holding it yet. as far as I'm concerned, like you're still in the midst of that test. When you pop to the 15, it's on the rebound. I want to see something close. If it closes holding that level, that's confirmation. Swing trades, it doesn't matter that it's wicking the bottom on a 15-minute chart or a 3-minute chart. If I'm swinging something, I want to see it close the daily or the weekly above that level, ideally the weekly, but I like the weekly chart a little bit better. So I wouldn't do it yet, but if it holds this 245 and closes above on the week, then a long off the low for myself makes more sense.
Oh, man. Everything. $1.50 now for Apple. Oh, yeah, by the way, let's go. All right. I mean, after this kind of a day, man, what exactly is for lunch? Shout out to all my Greek friends out there, because today it is a chicken dinner winner, and it is brought to you by, I don't know, I'm going to say the country of Greece. It is chicken souvlaki today with lemon pepper rice. Should be exciting with a little bit of tzatziki. We had gyros last night at my house. My kid absolutely loves those with a little bit of mixed vegetables. So today you get the chicken souvlaki, what's for lunch, with mixed vegetables and a little dollop of tzatziki. That's what's for lunch. Right there today, in and around here. We had hard-boiled, after that little talk yesterday about tuna, hard-boiled eggs on yesterday's.
What's wrong with a hard-boiled egg?
Nah, they're good, but I mean, I don't know. They put like 2 or 3 of them on there. It gets to be a lot, I think. I don't know.
I don't think you get enough protein when they do that.
No, you definitely don't get enough protein.
You get with the tuna.
I prefer the egg salad on the salad.
Yeah. Egg salad, tuna salad, chicken salad. That's the best on the salad on our lunch. Anyways, we get that salad lunch.
It's because we have like the eggs. Like sometimes I'll have the eggs in the morning here. I'll just have like 1/2 of a hard-boiled egg, and then it's like, okay, I just had that. Then the very next thing I'm eating, the next protein is another hard-boiled egg. I don't know.
I hard-boil eggs myself on the weekend, and usually we'll have them like throughout the week if I need extra protein. So that's the reason I'm not a huge fan, because I'm already doing it myself. But I do believe we're supposed to go to the desk. Apparently, it's money talks. Deviled eggs are not worth the effort.
No economic data to watch today, though. Of course, as we know, we do have over the next 2 days testimony from Fed Chair Powell. Today in the Senate, tomorrow the House Committee. We also have actually Treasury Secretary Yellen today testifying before the House Committee. Janet Yellen saying that inflation will come down over time and that rent is actually keeping it higher than they would like. But in terms of the actual DXY right now, we're kind of coming into an interesting level here on the daily chart, pushing up into that 105.10 area, which, as you see here on the daily chart, has been a bit of area support resistance going back here. So that could be an interesting look for the DXY right now, trying to make it second green candle after a series of red candles here. So far, we've had Fed Chair Powell answer some questions about housing, saying that there has been some issues still with housing, though the labor market has apparently cooled a little bit. So interesting look here for the DXY. We'll keep you posted as we get more comments from Fed Chair Powell over the next few hours, guys.
Dixie on moves. We do have we got Fed speakers in the afternoon as well, but keep in mind there's also that 1 o'clock. I think it's 1 o'clock. I want to say it's 1 o'clock when we get that bond auction. So do pay attention. Sometimes you'll see that move the market. But if the Fed says something that matters, we'll be right here for you as we always are. So you might get this tested VWAP incoming on AMD. It's put in another higher low now. So it's looking a little bit stronger than it was before. So I think the patience game is going to be in if we try to short this a 4th time here on Advanced Micro Devices. With only 8 minutes to go, NVIDIA still holding the trend. The last little dip didn't quite get into VWAP, but it's still holding trend up. I like to paint this from the first dip, and now you've established it off that second dip, so there's a chance it just holds the trend line into the upside directly, and we don't have to worry about VWAP altogether. There are a couple of names out there that I think bear watching. I did not make any reversal in the cost. We had 2 longs in cost. First one bounced off trend. The other one does not hold on to 12. If this stock goes red, it could get nasty, but $9, there's no big levels on this stock. 10 is a psychological one. $9 is where it broke out from last week. And then you had $9 in the pre-market. So I think until it gets down there, might have to sit this one out. You love them if they go, but you got to get out of Dodge when they don't. They can be worthwhile. And I did say I would short PSNY today, but I also said that would be at $1. It is nowhere near the dollar. If this does not get back above 90, it could be like a potential multi-day short underneath the 90 after failing the buck. I like these dollar failures, but if it's nowhere near a buck, you have to find some kind of an alternate entry point into the stock, unfortunately.
All right, it's only 7 minutes to go. We will be talking about Elliott wave theory coming up with Sharif and Sarah, so pay attention to that right now. All right, so Palantir just fell in. You know, it fell into this level. We'll see if we can get quick little 5 pennies. We take some out there on that dip in. We just got some 20. Oh, we got 26s. Okay. Sorry, I thought we had 25s there. I'm just trying to scalp some out at this point, honestly. Nice move. We'll just sort of top off our day here on Palantir. Buy the dips, man. We said we would try to wait for this, so that's exactly what we did. Now, we're out already for 6-7 cents here. I'm just laughing because, honestly, the day that we've been having here, this is just playing around now. I'll probably wait a bit. I'm going to try to hold out as much as I can here for Tesla. I think it's on a march now, at least to this 259 area where we were yesterday. This is now $3 in the money. I don't, you know. Oh, I want to thank Yoel there again for the super chat. Thank you so much, Yoel, for the $5, man. We really appreciate that. And like I said, you can ask us about our trades. I think I've showed you pretty much all the trades that I put on here today, and I just want to thank you for the support for that. So thank you again, Yoel, for that super chat, $5. All right, well, there's Palantir. We just took some 33s, so now we'll wait, man. Now we'll wait and see if it wants to go. Tesla on a little bit of a pullback now. 257 could maybe be a stop if you guys are really interested. That's the 50-period moving average right there. It hasn't meant that much over the last little bit, but again, with Fed speak, you are going to get dips like that. So we waited for VWAP, and we took advantage of that twice. VWAP there, VWAP there. So if you wanted to punch out, VWAP is held every single time, so that's 255.55. So that would still put us in a 20-cent winner, but we're gonna hold out for higher on that one. Apple's still $1 in the money, but we've definitely screwed that one up because we could have got out here at 229, 229.40 for like $3 or $2 there. We're long at 227, so that would have been an awesome opportunity. We're gonna get some out here, and I do have my offer at 229 this time. So if we get anywhere back there for Apple, I'm just reviewing some of the positions I have on right now. If I exit all of these positions, look, Tesla's 250 in the money. Palantir's a dime. Intel's now. Look at Intel. Let's go right now. Intel, big trade on that one off that bottom there. Picked it right away. Right off the note here today. We've tweeted some stuff out today. It's just been easy for us just following our plan again. And there it is right there. Intel, overcooked. I mean, 100% overcooked. I wrote that comment at $35, went down to 33. And then now we have right there long if 33.75. So the only mistake there, by the way, the Amazon long, we want to check back in on that one. Palantir is my P&L number 1 before Tesla hit. So yeah, so far so good. I mean, it's nice when the plan works, and we always talk about that. Intel, nice play. Looks like Tesla is fading back in. We just said maybe 257 as a spot there. That sucks. We only have 20% left. So we've already been reviewing all of this, and it looks like it might have been a decent spot to get some out there in Palantir, as we have 50% left of Palantir, giving this only 6 cents. The highest we got there was 7 cents. So we'll give it 6 cents worth of a hit, and we have about 50% left of this trade. So this could come out as well, Palantir. But hey, the good day continues, and it's about to get a lot better with the midday, as these guys will be putting on some trades and explaining some different strategies to all of you. My strategy is very simple. Trust what you're doing, look at support and resistance, show you with integrity the trades, and you guys take them as you wish. So there it is, man. Nice little move. And there's another out for us on Palantir. It was just down 10 cents, rips up 10 cents. Let's take a piece out here on PLTR. 3 minutes, Neil, and then we are done. And then we wait to see what's on top of the salad and or if I steal any chicken souvlaki.
I will probably steal a small little bit, but we'll wait till the traders eat. There's always someone on the other side. But we're back into AMD, and I want to just alert to a new trade, but I just realized I have to go pay for locates on ARM. ARM is breaking 185. Previous close, 184.70. and it's holding a triple bottom, at least temporarily, but this is a flat bottom break here on ARM as it heads into the downside. It's AMD that I did jump back into. We can short this one. We don't have to pay for locates on AMD, but it just wicked the 177 and is holding underneath it. So we're going to stay short, give it to the local high, 177.25, but I want to jump in at ARM. We talk about things that are bucking the trend, lower highs. All of a sudden, yeah, ARM's kind of gone here. But we want to join this trend. We have to pay for locates. It's not free for us. Usually it's about 1/8 of 1 cent per share. So AMD trending down, but ARM breaking support big time. Last thing will be NVIDIA. Looks like we do get a chance off VWAP. There's your double dip into VWAP, 132.20, as it comes right back into those lows. I took it early last time. This time I wait for it to give some confirmation on the bounce. We'll see if we actually pick it up or if we're a little bit too discerning with NVIDIA. Still want to give it a chance to bounce off VWAP, but ARM and AMD looking short the other direction with only 90 seconds to go in here until we head on over some Elliott wave theory. I do want to acknowledge that this Mara pulling back, I said I would not reload it unless we got the bottom. It's trying to bounce off this 1920. So we took the higher low the first time, did not show me strength at 1950. So we're going to wait for it to bounce off 1920 and look for the reload at that particular level. So I'm going to go process my locates on ARM. I'm going to try to get them, but it doesn't mean we have to use it. If I've missed the chance at this trade and it's now falling and it's at 183, then we just have to wait for another entry point. There's a flat bottom break. I can wait for it to retest that level. But ARM was super strong with the rest of the chip names, suddenly going in the other direction here. It's a high flyer. We like to stock in a general sense, but on days where ARM wants to give it up, I think you just want to join the short. We've seen this story before. And if it just trends for the afternoon, it can go $5 in a hurry.
All right, guys, just props up to everybody that's on Greensville today. We've only gone long on everything. We don't have any shorts here today. Tesla, I'll just review before we go. There's Tesla, nice move to the upside there. Here's Palantir, boom, boom, boom right now. Palantir will be P&L number. Well, Tesla and Palantir are going back and forth now. Intel, boom. Although we called it weak, we didn't trust the weakness. We should have had that short. Then we'd be really cooking. But right now we are 40 cents in the money on this one. Amazon was the wrong long for sure. Too many trades in here. But again, we were able to make some back. I'm pretty proud of catching that. And then the other one that's been monster here, Apple. We are just waiting at 90s, 220 right into here. I think it's 90. Yeah, are we at 90? 85, sorry. So right into here. We almost got out. Let's see if Apple gets one more push to the upside, and we will be donezo on that one. It's 11 o'clock and 30 seconds, so that's it for us. Enjoy the midday. We're back at 2. Ciao.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade for